Yeah, what's up? Almost messed up a little bit because I forgot to cue something up. Should have queued it up before I started, but that's all right. We're still here. I still wonder why this thing says live after 2 minutes when the show just starts. I don't understand that. I know in professional stuff you got some lead in time, but other than that, it's supposed to flow beautifully. So anyway, what we're talking about today, we're talking about coon agents and co-opters. Because as you know, the Judas, I don't really do movie reviews. And what I'm going to do is not really a movie review. It's going to be a reality review, truth be told. And why they keep bringing everything out now. The funny part about it is everybody who talks about or who was ordered to promote the movie, The Judas and the Black Messiah, they make commentary that the African man, the British African man, Daniel Kaluuya, or however you pronounce his name, they say he's not the right guy. Some people say it's because of the skin tone. Some people say because he's not ADOS or FBA. What's going on, Boris? So that's what people say. You know my stance on it and what it's always been. And co-opters, like you know who, Mr. Tariq Nasheed, what they do is they come around because they're the same William O'Neill types. They come around, see what people order, either that or they're ordered by their masters, see what people are talking about, then say, okay, all right, I see people starting to gain an audience. People are starting to pay attention. So let me weave my way in there like agents do, and let me slowly take it over. See, this is why I stay pissed off at those coons who shut down my last channel, because the last channel had great momentum. It was getting bigger by the day. The views were, literally subs. I was getting 100 subs a day, literally, no lie. Views, every live. Views were going up by 10 lives per view, if not by 50. Momentum was gaining. So as is typical coons and house niggas, they got to shut the momentum down. And while my momentum got shut down, even though this one is building back up again, I got to say it's building back up. Other people, their momentum was forcibly built up. You know those coon agents like the young pharaoh, like Mr. Nasheed, because these are the, what's going on, Lydell? Because these are the assigned coon agents. And speaking of coon agents, did you hear? So I was trying to cue that up. I caught it on the replay, so I didn't get the timestamp, but I know it's towards the beginning, I think about 20 minutes in. Mr. Tariq Nasheed, the man was talking about the William O'Neill situation. And what word did he use? He said William O'Neill is a coon agent. That's what Tariq Nasheed said. Now, people, come on. Now, you know damn well there's only one person who calls people coon agents. You know that. That's what that COO logo is for. It stands for coon agents, in case people didn't know. Yeah, that Ugandan guy, you know, to me, it's embarrassing when you put an African guy with Garfield lazy eyes. Sometimes this guy looks like he's totally disinterested. I'm like, how does somebody looking like him, looking like he's sleepwalking and shit, how does he become an actor? You know, I'm like, damn, it's crazy, but they got him. You know, I was surprised he was actually able to come alive in this one, even in that Queen and Slim movie. He seemed like he was detached from what was going on. I'm like, how does this man even pay attention? But that sex scene, see, that was one of the perks of being an actor, though. You know, that sex scene in there. What's going on, Lasheed, for you? Yeah, that's that sex scene in that Queen and Slim. And when I saw that, I said, nah, God damn it, now that's what I want to do. I want to become an actor doing some shit like that. Because I ain't gonna tell you no lie, that girl in that Queen and Slim, I think she was a British Jamaican. She had a damn near perfect body. No lie. And when I was watching the movie, that was the main thing I kept paying attention to. I said, that lady, I said, she looking right. People say dark-skinned women ain't looking right. She was looking right. But again, it's a joke when they keep having these individuals, these imposters is what I call them. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed started doing that too. Other people pointed out that Tariq Nasheed, this was not his lane. He was never talking about Caribbeans. He was never talking about Africans. Instead, he was doing the opposite with the Pan-African thing, which is to give praise to them. I talked about the Caribbean. Yep. And you know how it is, Lionel. When she's looking like that, you got to break the rules. That's when you can say, hey, we're all black, you know? Ain't no problem with that. But yeah, man, she was looking right, man. She had the body right. But Tariq Nasheed was never on this Caribbean. They're trying to undermine us. Now, when I say it for life experiences and because I analyze the facts. I don't say it to rabble rouse. I don't say it to because I hate Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is a fraud and it's phony. Case in point. When now my man Tyron, he knows. Yeah, thanks, man. We're building it back up. We got to make it coon proof next time. You know, coon proof. But when me and my man Tyron, we used to go on this guy. It's my art forever. That's gonna be the next topic, the whole tap hustle, because this guy he keeps saying some shit that makes you scratch your head. And I'll get into that later on, but they all do that when you really think about it. And they're getting on my nerves because they won't answer questions when you go on there. Pan-Africanism and the so-called Kemetic people. They'll never answer your question. In fact, they hate questions. That's what they do. They can't stand questions. And when you ask inquisitive, I mean, whatever question you ask, you should be able to ask it and get an answer. Either the answer could be "fuck you," or they can actually answer it, whatever it is. But instead, they get panicky. They want to cut you off. They want to silence you. And I'm the type of person, when people start reacting in that kind of way, then I'm starting to wonder why. What are they hiding? Because that's apparently what they must be doing. They must be hiding something at this point. Why else would you not want to hear what the truth is supposed to be? Or to at least discuss the proof? You know? I saw a video on YouTube where a Caribbean exposed Tariq as a fraud. He was saying that he doesn't give a damn about Caribbeans. Damn. Well, he showed that with Haiti because I had a discussion on psychopatheists, and I brought up the Haitian apartments that the man was collecting money on. And he said he was going to build it. But again, because they say that he produces when he gets money. But I was trying to let it be known that he took money on those Haitian apartment building, and he never came through. Where is it? He was only talking about that when he was trying to promote that 1804. And after the 1804, in case people don't know, 1804 flopped. That's why he included that 1804 in that Ogun juice package deal. Because he had to give it away. But he didn't want to lose the manufacturing costs on it. So he gave it Ogun juice package deal. And notice the Ogun juice, he's kind of laying low on that. I told you he probably only produced about 3,000 of them because that's how he does it. And you look at his last live, he was talking about direct marketing. That's what he does. That's why he's on YouTube all the time. You know, he should be dealing with his wife. He should be taking care of business, but his business is on YouTube. That's how he gets his suckers. And you keep in mind, most of his, you see his numbers have gone up. Now he can get 9,000 people on a live, 12,000, just like young Pharaoh. And wasn't Tariq promoting the Brazilian women though? Yeah, he was. People pointed that out. And that's what this man is all about. It's all about the money, probably avoiding taxes too. And his wife, of course, as we all know, is mixed, but he calls other people tragic mulattoes, but not his wife. You know, it's just crazy. You gotta keep the con going because he has bills to pay. So he comes into other people's world and he starts seeing us. He starts stealing our style. Now, somebody else made a video saying that Tariq was stealing from him, but yet he didn't really prove it. He just showed Facebook pages from years ago. I ain't trying to diss, but, you know, we had collision courses, you know, from a distance. So, you know, I ain't afraid to go at anybody. So, you know, I like it. What's going on, MB20? Looks like a big Shabaranks. Yeah, he has that hairdo to cover up his bald spots too. That's the funny part. Yeah, he never likes to talk about his mother-in-law. But as I go on with this show today, I'm gonna show that these William O'Neills, these relatives of his, these coon agents, see, they might get a little bold in one regard, but there's some things I pay strict attention to what people say and what they don't say. And I even watch out for the things that they begin to say and don't finish, because a lot of people don't realize it, but when somebody begins to say something and then they don't finish, that's a form of suggestive mind control to make you think, oh, what were they about to say? They did that on purpose. That's why I could tell when a lot of these people are trained by the white man, because I know the white man's tactics. I told you everything started when I was investigating the JFK assassination. It takes you into all worlds, all levels. And then you see the MO, just like with the Malcolm X assassination. You see how the operation works. Like, let's see, I had felt that he had taken from my Egyptian series when I talked on restorations, but that ain't easy for me to prove. The man steals from a lot of people. Like I said in the past, people with smaller channels, he feels that, okay, we never heard of him. He could take it, won't mention your name, unless, of course, it comes back as faulty information that he said, I got it from this person, you know, but he'll mention the big names, Claude Anderson, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, which of course he's not following her rules, of course, because, you know, he's got a mixed family. So that's supposed to be his hero. So he's full of shit, but that's what they do. He steals from small, like he stole from Yvette Carnell. Everybody knows that now. But see, they made a name for themselves so people know what they did. And people know that he started a fake beef in order to distance himself from him and start with this FBA BS, which he totally contradicts himself every time he talks about it. He says that we're from here, but then he says we've been detached from Africa for 500 years. I mean, which one is it? Are we been here? Because even the Pan-Africans, this is how phony they are, because the evidence has been overwhelming to show that we've already been here. So now they changed their tune. Now they say we've been here, or they say some of us have been here. So you can't say Some have been here, but we came from Africa. You can't even say most have been here, but we came from Africa. Once you admit to one having been here, that's the end of the story. So we get the Pan-Africans to change their tune. And of course, you can't have a few. Remember Afro-synergy. So don't forget what these people say. Remember Afro-synergy. Now I guess he got ran off of YouTube. But see, he should have known better than to keep saying too much. Because he kept on going on and on. He got too damn bold. Me, I got the hint. Once my videos about the British got taken down, and once my videos about the V and the C got taken down, and I saw that that's the reason why they took it down, is because they said it in the letter. You can't go around talking about that, even though we should be able to. But after Synergy, he took it too far that he brought on the Irritated Genie. You just can't go live and direct. You got to make it cryptic sometimes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's not hard to roast. You know, I've been waiting for this guy. He'll never go live with me because I got the knowledge and I got the jokes for his ass. He ain't ready for that. I notice anytime somebody gets on one of his lives and they come with some jokes that's good, he'll cut them off. But this is what these guys do. They take from smaller YouTubers because they need to co-opt, because they saw the Caribbean talk, the anti-Pan-African talk, the Aboriginal talk, which I don't take claim to that because other people were there before me. But when it comes to that Caribbean talk, that African talk, that where the slave ships talk, that's me. He took it from me. And I got the proof because it's verbatim from videos that I've done when I had guests on here. In sequence, this guy has taken from us as we presented it. Now, I sprung another trap for his ass. I'm not going to say. If you're wise, you can guess. But we're going to see if this man is going to be arrogant enough to try and take it. But let's see. Give him some time. So, but that's what he does. He'll take your information and co-opt it. This is agent talk. Why? Because when other people come with something and they get a following and the ideas are being put forth, the white man needs his coons to come in and take over. Just like you saw with the William O'Neill situation. He had to go. He couldn't just join the Panthers. He had to join in, become trusted, move up so he can have command and more trust. And then he can double cross him and backstab him for the white man. That's what they do. That's what it's all about. So, homie in Los Angeles allowed the bum to totally exploit Nipsey. That's another thing too. Tariq Nasheed act like he cared about Nipsey Hussle, but Nipsey Hussle was African. But he doesn't damn him. Bullshit. This guy's a fraud and a phony. But this is what they do, man. And in the meantime, you see the young Pharaoh, Tariq Nasheed, and the Black Authority, their numbers continue to rise because when they appear to be larger, they appear to be more important. And when they appear to be more important and more popular, people want to get on it. As I continue to read this book about Elijah Muhammad, if you haven't gotten it, I swear you should get it. But there are few things I realized. Number one, every time there was an incident, publicity, the Nation of Islam's membership rose and the money rose. So they needed their people to become popular. And I told you, once the government got a hold of Elijah Muhammad, they turned his ass out. Because after a while, if you notice, they never arrested him, just like Farrakhan. They could have easily arrested Farrakhan for actual murder. After James Shabazz got killed he ordered the murder of people. He said, cut their heads off. And it was done. And their heads were left in the park in Newark. And he's on audio. And he said, you got to murder these people. And it was done. For people who say that Farrakhan never did a thing. He did a thing. Farrakhan is another coon agent I've been calling out for the longest time. And again, it seems to me as if Farrakhan was a coon agent from the beginning. That's the way it seems. He got in. Once he had his opportunity to turn on Malcolm, he never looked back. Never looked back. But that's what they do. Black Authority, Young Pharaoh, Tariq Nasheed, their numbers rise. Their YouTube channels never get shut down. But everybody else's gets shut down, gets rearranged. It stops our momentum. I'm not the only one. Lashy for you, that's one. Other people, I don't want to name names on the other people because they're into some funny business, but other people, they had their YouTube channels shut down and they got to rebuild. Or they've been put on probation, they got to rebuild. What does that do? It makes people think, oh, maybe these people are bullshitting on their channel, so maybe I'll look for my entertainment elsewhere or information elsewhere. And in my case, which is happening with a lot of people, comments get deleted before they even make it to the actual channel. And a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people are still thinking that I delete comments. When I told them over and over again, I said, I do not delete comments. I have to say that again. The only time a comment is ever deleted by me is when she ain't no soul mother number one. The only time I ever delete a comment is if somebody comes here talking shit, like the last time we had the troll. We knew who that was. If he was just being funny, I let the comment stand. But when he was talking shit and name calling, then you got to go. Other than that, I keep you on. I don't care because I like free speech. Because the one thing I can't stand is when you go on somebody's channel, they got 50 moderators, or the moderators make up most of the people commenting on the channel. Each moderator has their own personality, their own culture, and their own triggers. You say something, one mod may hate it, time you out, or block you. And the hosts, they just like seeing people with wrenches in their channels because that makes them seem like they're more important. They got something going on, so they don't even tame the people. See, I don't like that. I like free speech because it's frustrating when you're constantly getting blocked because or timed out. I take it not as punishment. I take it as somebody is trying to hide something. That's how I take it. You don't want certain comments getting out there. What are you trying to hide? That's why I let people say whatever they're going to say. You could even critique me. I don't care about that. Say what you want to say. That's why there are no mods. And if the usual mods come around talking about wrench me up, that's not happening. A lot of people like being career moderators on YouTube. Like they have a right to be a moderator. I keep telling people you can't put that on a job resume. I was a moderator on YouTube. And I was a moderator on this channel, that channel, the other channel. Nah, get out of here with that. I can't lie, I've been somewhat defending Farrakhan, but I understand why there are those who distrust him. Well, I mean, the man is a confessed killer. But speaking of that, let me just get right to it. And then we can see what the deal is right now. So a lot of people don't like bringing this out. Thanks to Lionel for letting me know about this. See, now, again, this is the final call, the Nation of Islam's own website. Let me reload it So you can see that this is their actual website, and it's live. And the reason why I bring that up is because where are we at here? Because I was actually on a live. No, where's the other one at? Yeah, this right here. It's Wesley Muhammad. That's why I put his face on the avatar. Because I was on this live right here. Now, this guy came with this cockamamie BS. Wonder why he got this Blood's bow tie up here. I don't even know if this guy is he still down with the Nation of Islam. I don't even know if he is or not, but he wanted to try to further exonerate Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Everybody already knows what the hell happened. But matter of fact, while I'm here, let me see what these comments are. And I'm showing people live. So you can see if these comments didn't make the cut. I don't delete them, but I can see them. But that doesn't mean that I deleted them if they didn't make the cut. Somebody said, this is interesting. Your listeners are bugging because you are one of the early people who walked us down the road in which we're becoming more aware of the differences between Black Americans and other Blacks. But in this piece, you are arguing that Kamala Harris, who we all are clear that she is not a Black American and who we feel mistreats Black Americans, is blacker than Michi X, who for some of us like and believe is half Black American and at least represents herself as a Black American. One of us who wants to fight for Black Americans. I get your point, but I would say Kamala is 65% Black and Michi's about 40% Black. But Michi's X's Black is ADOS FBA style. We have to assume, because she never made that clear. We don't know that for sure. Whereas Kamala's Black is Dravidian and Jados. Jados style. Okay, that's new. Jados. That's true. That's what I always say. But see, when I say Kamala Harris is blacker than Michi X, I'm just saying that, period. See, a lot of people confuse attitude and mind for Blackness because I've had, I don't want to call them debates, I'll call them discussions with people. And they say, what makes you Black is how you think. No, that's not what makes you Black. And I can say, I know I'm the first one saying all this stuff because other people have, you know, said the same thing after they heard me. They don't give me the credit, but that's fine. I always maintain the biology makes you Black. You can be a house nigger. You could be an Uncle Tom. William O'Neill was a house nigger and an Uncle Tom and a coon agent, but he was still Black. Clarence Thomas, Herschel Walker, Larry Elder, the house niggas and coons, but they're still Black. Michi X is half Black, half Polish. But people want to act like she's Black because she talks that talk. But you know what? So do your local police department. They talk that talk when they come to get some information from you. White cop comes up to you. Hey, what up, Pookie? What you got for me today? Yeah, what up, man? Why you want to play me like that, man? That's the talk that they talk when they want to brainwash you, when they want something from you. Michi X, I should have had that video lined up, but I wasn't planning on talking about her. She promised me I could ask questions when she did a live when she was out of New Jersey. At the end of that video, she says my name and says the questions that I want to ask. She's paranoid, like that my Aunt Forever guy, because she thinks that I'm going to ask something that will discredit her or embarrass her. So instead of letting me ask the questions in my way, remember, Zaza Ali was the same way. I just want to ask her a couple of simple questions. And the reason why I keep doing this is because I get a kick out of it, because all I really want to ask most of the time is usually 2 questions. And you notice how 2 questions always turns into a year-long situation of the people I'm asking the questions to, they keep running and running and running because they don't want to answer the questions. It should be simple, but this one, I assume this one made the cut because it's on here, this question. And I guess this one was something else I commented on. This one says 2021 dude still talking about this pimp and con artist dude exposed. Can't wait to see his American Greed episode. Let's see if that made the cut. Okay, that made the cut. Domestic coons. Let's see if this made the cut. Now you see that's an example of a comment that didn't make the cut. As you can see, it's right here. I don't delete them. That's YouTube. And I assume this was deleted because he spelled coons out. That's why a lot of people got to spell it differently. You know? Buck dance for the foo-foo. I think that made the cut. So that made the cut. But yeah, I don't delete comments. Just to let it be known again. I addressed it many times before, but people still think I'm deleting comments. You got to watch how you spell certain words that they might see as political or controversial. Get creative with the spelling. Anyway, this is the main thing I want to talk about, because we're talking about coon agents and co-opters, the Judases. And I brought up the Wesley Muhammad thing because this is what he was doing. I was making some comments on there that he's obviously a Freemason, because even before this was brought to my attention, this confirmation, I already had the suspicions any damn way, but see, it's good to see the confirmation. And he's so proud that he displayed it on his website. See, on that Wesley Muhammad video, I think that was done on Sunday, I believe. He would say, oh, well, Farrakhan is a Freemason. And you had the people saying, oh, yeah, you're a liar. Prove it. And I say, I don't know why you people are even taking the time to lie, because it's on the damn Nation of Islam website itself. And then when you catch them in the lie, and then they say, okay, well, you know what, you might be right. Then they say, well, that's just an honorary thing for Farrakhan. Let's suppose it were only honorary. The hell are they giving him any kind of award for? What did he do to deserve it? You know? Do celebrities get these awards? But anyway, I always tell people, come on the website, look, and then read the paragraph. Right here. It says, these are the highest honors that could be bestowed upon a Mason, explained Tony Hawkins of John G. Jones, Grand Lodge of California, ancient, free, and accepted Masons. So that means it's not an honorary award that this man got. He's a Freemason. That's why he got it. I mean, it's clear. So I don't know why Nation of Islam members continue to lie and act like maybe they're just so low level that they don't know what to say. So they just act like they don't know what it's all about. Why is it important that Farrakhan is a Freemason that we know this? For a few reasons. Number one, now we know why he would help kill Malcolm X and dismiss Khalid Muhammad and had him shot up. Because these are his masters. That's why. Two, it also means, since Freemasonry is his ultimate master, that he can forget about a Farad Muhammad being God, because obviously he can't believe that if this is superseding his God and his so-called religion. I mean, that's it. So I don't like to overthink things when you don't have to. pretty clear. This is why the man has never been arrested, because they could have easily arrested him on of suspicion of murder, or even saying that James Shabazz's killers needed to be murdered. That's the words he used, murdered. He didn't say dealt with, like a nation deals with traitors. He said they needed to be murdered. When somebody says, I need you to murder them, that means you know it's a crime. right up the bat, because murder is the crime, not killing. But since he's a Freemason, he helped kill Malcolm X, they look the other way. They can easily set this man up for suspicion of child molestation charges. You know, anything that's embarrassing. But they don't want to do that because they need him to be their primary agent, where the black people entrust this guy. This is why the coon agents, this is why I keep telling you, the Black Authority, Professor Griff, Tariq Nasheed, Zaza Ali, Michi X, and anybody else you could think of, you notice what they always do. They never disrespect Farrakhan, and they always endorse him as if he's somebody that you can trust. The man is a sinister minister, and there's no question about that. So when you want questions answered about how come they don't come after Farrakhan, this is why. If it were Farad Muhammad, that's a different story. But obviously, Farad Muhammad is not the power that Farrakhan is a part of. He's their boy. He's a coon agent. So this is what we have to keep in mind when we keep going over and over again, asking ourselves, man, how come these guys keep getting away with this stuff? See, these other people, they'll talk about the government, they'll talk about the FBI, the CIA, but they always leave this stuff out of it. Now, that Ma'at Forever guy, in fact, in case people don't know who I'm talking about, this guy right here is a con man to the fullest, a Hotep hustler. This guy right here, Hotep hustler out of France. Oh yeah, I'm talking about you. I know he watches the video because he said he skimmed through it. This guy is a Hotep hustler to the fullest. This guy, Swahili lessons, Medu Netter lessons. Who is he to give lessons? And he wants money. But I'm not going to go in too deep today because I'm going deep probably on Friday with this guy and some other guys. This Hotep hustle. It's all about the money. We had a slight discussion on Freemasonry and the Nation of Islam. Now, he's the guy who points out that Farrakhan is a Freemason and Khalid Muhammad is a Freemason. But I found it interesting when I said that Khalid Muhammad, after he got shot, did videos with Steve Coakley explaining exactly how he got shot and who shot him. And he said Farrakhan shot him. Now, this guy knew everything else, but all of a sudden, he's playing stupid now. And I know this guy's not that stupid. Just a little bit, but not that stupid. So that makes me think, okay, there's a point that some of these people won't go beyond, which starts to get me thinking. And I used to have all my videos. I told people my hard drive crashed. Well, it didn't even crash. It just stopped working. I've been trying to find that Khalid Muhammad video. I'm sure a lot of people already saw it. It may be on here. Maybe I'm missing it. But those are the main videos that seem to be disappearing about Khalid Muhammad is after he got shot and he explains who did it. It's just like with Malcolm X. You have to understand, he got shot. Well, no, he didn't get shot, but he had attempts on his life. He explained to the people who the hell was about to do it. That's what you got to understand. Khalid Muhammad, well, this looks like one I may have missed. I'll check that one out. But Khalid Muhammad said Farrakhan did it, had me shot. Matter of fact, this might be it right here. Maybe. It looks like the outfit he was wearing. But that's what we got to understand. That ain't what I want to say. Hold up. We got to understand this. Malcolm X already said who was going to kill him before he got killed. Now, the Nation of Islam, they'll change it around and say, well, you know, it's supposed to have been bigger than the Muslims, you know, because of getting food poisoning in Egypt and all that kind of stuff getting followed. Again, we know who pulled the trigger. He said Elijah Muhammad could stop it all, which he didn't. Elijah Muhammad, after Malcolm X was killed, he said that Malcolm X was begging for death, and he got it. So, I mean, you know, obviously Elijah Muhammad didn't seem to give a damn. I mean, damn. It's pretty clear. So now they want to come up with this cockamamie stuff. Just so happens to be in the same month that Malcolm X got killed. And, you know, I'm sure everybody's read about this. The short letter about a cop saying, yeah, we helped to set him up. He didn't mention anything about the Nation of Islam or the CIA, but NYPD. See, we all know, anybody who knows anything, you know that the FBI usually directs local police and says, hey, we got to move on this, just like they did with Fred Hampton. Move on this, take him out, you'll get rewarded later on down the road. That's what happens. But see, they keep trying to take Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam out of the deal, especially Farrakhan, more so than the Nation of Islam itself. And that's the latest thing that we have here. Just like Dick Gregory, slick Dick Gregory, a coon agent. That's what I said. People on here, they know how I feel about Dick Gregory, a coon agent. He keeps maintaining. He implants false evidence that Malcolm X was shot from above. No, Malcolm X was above and got shot from below. And that gunshot wound was the main wound that killed him instantly. All the others were just Negro making sure that he was dead. And the MO of the whole setup tells me that the white man helped to set this up. Now, other questions have been raised as far as, well, why would people want to be exposed out in the open when they're killing somebody? It's the same way with the JFK assassination. It's a coup. If you kill JFK in the White House, or you kill him any place in a confined area, that means that the killer has to be on the premises. And it'll usually mean it's confirmation of an inside job. But see, when you do it outside, that allows people to get away. And that allows just enough witnesses to witness or to say what you need them to say to the public. But of course, anybody who's looked into that case, you know there have been a lot of witnesses who said a whole bunch of things that the powers that be didn't want said. So witnesses ended up dead or suppressed, and they got their equipment taken away and all that kind of stuff. So that thing happens. But at the end of the day, you need your few unattached witnesses. But at the same time, just like the Malcolm X assassination, the JFK assassination, they had a whole bunch of actors there already. to make sure that everything goes as it's supposed to go. And of course, William Bradley, he was able to take a belt off of a guy outside of the assassination. No cop is going to let you get an event like that goes down. No cop is going to let some mere stranger get right up on somebody while they're trying to apprehend him. The cops let him take that belt off of him. So, and we also have to keep in mind with Malcolm X too. I like to remind people of this. This man's family, when the house got firebombed, the Nation of Islam, they tried to kill his whole family. That's what they tried to do. And I think that's part of the reason why Malcolm X said, you know what, fuck it. They want to kill me. These psychopaths, they're not going to stop. So fuck it. Now, if he had not made that sacrifice, his whole family probably would have been killed if they would have been able to catch him again. So that's what people always have to remember. You think, oh, they just wanted him, but see, they didn't mind burning the damn house down because the owner of the house would have gotten an insurance claim. Matter of fact, while I'm reading that book by Elijah Muhammad, they said in, I think it was 1959 or 58, the police staged a fake raid on that same apartment that Malcolm X was living in. And they heard his daughters cry, and then the police shot first and then entered. Yeah, that reminds you of somebody, right? Fred Hampton. But they didn't hit anybody. But see, they didn't give a damn about his daughters. His daughters that's alive now, even Betty Shabazz are the ones that were unborn. Not at that time, though. They could have been murder victims. I don't know if his daughters really think of it like that. They were victims of attempted murder by the Nation of Islam. It wasn't Malcolm X alone, it was them. So they didn't give a damn. But you see, they let Farrakhan, the white man treats Farrakhan like royalty and damns Malcolm X. So that's why we have to understand all this new information. This is just a whole bunch of BS. Because all they're doing is protecting their little secret societies. There was another one. Oh, yeah. As I'm reading that book, you find out during the Fard Muhammad days of the Nation of Islam, and before Malcolm X, they were getting funded by this guy. Japanese, Imperial Japan. And this was news to me. Nobody ever talks about this. He was also funding the Moorish Science Temple because the plan was, I guess they knew in advance that they were on a collision course with the United States as far as war was concerned. So the Japanese, what they were doing is they were doing what the British and the United States, what they normally do, which is go into a country, find out who has a reason to hate the government and wants some outside support and funds and all that kind of stuff. And then they say, you know what? Work with us on this. We'll get you something after we help destroy the government. And basically that's what was going on. And he promised them that the Japanese were going to destroy the United States, and then they were going to send them to Hawaii to set up shop so they can be free. But of course, that rarely happens. You rarely get rewarded when you're dealing with an imperial government. So, I mean, they conquered let's say the Japanese conquered the U.S. 10-1, they would have just taken that shit for themselves and said, fuck all you. I mean, that's the bottom line. But that's what they had the plans on doing. So that's why you learn some more stuff. And me, I always thought about trying to be funny and ask Nation of Islam people about that mother plane and who made them. And all the bombs are supposed to be dropping on America when the time comes. But apparently the time was supposed to have been the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. That's what that was all about. But apparently, Farr said that the mother plane is in the sky. And I guess that book, I should have read that book years ago because the answer was there. The mother plane was supposed to have been constructed by the Japanese and maintained by the Japanese. So, not by God himself, but by the Japanese. So, they kept changing the style up, so to speak, in the Nation of Islam. Then you had Captain Joseph or Yusuf Shah. People talk about, according to the book, I'm sure a lot of people already know he helped firebomb the house. And according to the book, they said that Yusuf Shah was the one who first put the idea into the mind of the Nation of Islam that Malcolm X got the first girl pregnant, even though he knew it was Elijah Muhammad. He didn't like Malcolm X, even though Malcolm X, like people said in many videos, that Malcolm X took this guy literally out of the gutter and saved his life. But this is how Negroes do. It's all about the money. But on his deathbed, he did say that he helped to firebomb the house. I mean, once you are on your deathbed, just like this so-called news that came out, I mean, what difference does it make? You already did the deed, and you did it for selfish reasons, just like William O'Neill. You did it for selfish reasons. You did it for the money. Yeah. Look at this guy. Yeah. The guy may have been young, but he was a criminal. I mean, you got to take the age into account, yeah. But he was still a criminal. He made the deal that he wanted to make. And like I will say with Tariq Nasheed did say, yeah, he could have done that time. He could have done the time. But he decided to keep doing it and keep doing it for the money. See, the thing I didn't like about the movie is that it made this guy seem like he didn't want to do it when he set Fred Hampton up and he was crying. But see, at the time, he wasn't supposed to have known about what was supposed to happen. But he knew. Matter of fact, let me see. And look at this. Now, this is from memory that this guy drew this out. Let's see if we got a better version. I guess this is as clear as it's going to be. I think they reproduced that in their own way. Anyway, that's a sizable place to be able to remember everything and draw it out. So I'm guessing when he drew these plans out, he must have been at the place and must have been doing it at that point, because that's something you can't just remember to do. He told them everything. I don't care how young you are. If they say, where do these people sleep at? Where do these people sleep at? Don't be there when it's going down. You knew what the hell was going down. Let's stop the games. And again, they had this jive African. It's a fucking insult. I mean, it's like, it's like having this guy play Barack Obama or somebody, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Goddamn British. At least this guy looked like the guy, you know what I mean? But let me read this. Let me get this off of here. That's nothing anymore. Because they say after that eyes on the prize thing that he committed suicide. Now, I mean, this is January 25th, 1990, and this is a Chicago Reader. It says William O'Neill spent his last few hours of his life with his Uncle Ben Hurd, a retired truck driver from Maywood. It was Martin Luther King Day. We're just sitting around drinking beer, Hurd recalls, talking to some friends of mine. We had company. The company left. That's when he started acting kind of strange. Now, not to try and rearrange history or anything, but when people start acting kind of strange, it could be guilt, could be because they got drugged, a la Martin Lawrence. Says at 2:30 a.m., the Eyes on the Prize, I believe that used to come on at 8. Channel 13, here in New York anyway. Channel 13, 8 o'clock. I think it probably ran for 2 hours, I think. So 2:30. Well, I mean, they could linger on for that long. So at 2:30 a.m., the 40-year-old O'Neill ran out of his uncle's apartment across the westbound lanes of the Eisenhower Expressway and was struck by a car and killed. His death was ruled a suicide. It's an odd way to want to kill yourself, but suppose the man was on some PCP or something. I don't know. I don't know why somebody would want to do it that way, because I know I don't want to do it that way, but hey. They say O'Neill achieved lasting infamy in 1973 when his role in the 1969 raid on which Black Panther leaders Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were murdered was revealed. Though O'Neill was a Panther inside to the point where he was in charge of security for Hampton and possessed keys to the Panther headquarters and safe houses, he was at the same time serving as an informant for the FBI. Among the information the teenage O'Neill fed his FBI contact was the floor plan of Hampton's West Side apartment that was used to plan the fatal raid. After his cover was blown, O'Neill entered the Federal Witness Protection Program, assumed his alias, William Hart, and moved to California. He secretly returned to Chicago in 1984. So not all who knew O'Neill will mourn, but Hurd, who says he knew O'Neill as well as anyone, depicts his nephew as a young man who was cooperating with the FBI to reduce his own potential jail time, then got in way over his head and forever tortured by guilt. I don't know, man, from 1969 to 1990, I mean, my man had plenty of time, to take himself out or to write a confession or some shit like that. He didn't do that. After the drinking buddies left in the early morning hours of King Day, Hurd became worried when O'Neill kept getting up to go to the bathroom. He's staying there 10 to 15 minutes. Could have been doing drugs. Or if they were drinking like that, could have been peeing a whole lot. The last time he stayed in 20 minutes, he came out in a rage and he tried to jump out of my living room window, which is on the second floor. I stopped him. I grabbed him by the ankles and I wrestled with him, but he broke free and ran out the door. See, now when you hear stuff like this, I try to analyze what could be going on, what could be happening. It sounds like some type of drug, not some type of guilt. But I guess he eventually got killed anyway, though. I just had my house shoes and pants on. I couldn't run after him like that. I couldn't have caught him anyway. Grabbed him by the ankles. I wrestled with him before he broke free and he ran out the door. I just had my house shoes on and pants on. I couldn't run after him like that. I couldn't have caught him anyway. There was a woman standing in front of the house and she said, "Lord, it sounds like somebody got hit on the expressway." Hurd ran to the ridge of the grassy slope and looked below to the Eisenhower, where he saw a prone body in a car with a broken windshield parked on the shoulder. The state police were already on the scene. When Hurd got a close look at the body with his flashlight, his worst fears were confirmed. The impact had torn the back of his shirt and pants off. His eyes were open. I took his pulse and it was hardly anything. After O'Neill was taken away, Hurd sat in the trooper's car and listened to the deeply shaken driver tell how O'Neill had jumped in front of him, waving his arms. He tried to swerve, but it was too late. Waving his arms. If you're trying to kill yourself, why would you wave your arms? That doesn't make any sense. You just get it done. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. Like when you hear a lot of celebrities get hit by cars and killed, like that. What was the name of that girl from that group? I forgot the name of that group, but the rapper, damn, Daz, and what's the other guy? You know who I'm talking about. The girl from that group with the cheerleading outfits. And even with Pernell Whitaker, but they said Pernell Whitaker was on drugs. That's why he got hit and killed. Most people who are of sound mind, they're not going to be trying to cross freeways and busy streets when they don't have to. But suicidal people or people on drugs, these things happen. Anyway, Heard had seen O'Neal gripped by this rage once before. It was last September when O'Neal ran out onto the Eisenhower and was struck but only injured. Heard says, I ran out to the street, but I didn't know which way he went. About 15, 20 minutes later, I heard an ambulance and I said, I hope it's not Bill. I called the emergency room and it was. So he tried it this way again. Sounds like some could have been a test run. Maybe it just didn't work out. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but this sounds weird. Black people don't usually do this kind of thing. If the man was racked by guilt, he had plenty of time to take himself out or to just go back around the Black Panthers so they could take him out. Heard said O'Neal never wanted to talk about the incident. He said he never said why he did it or if coming so close to death taught him anything, but I never thought he would do it again since he came so close. Heard says I never thought he was suicidal. Heard learned of O'Neal's secret shortly after Hampton's death. I thought about some of the things that he did and said. I asked him, but he denied it. But later, O'Neal told his uncle that he'd been in trouble for everything from car theft and home invasion to kidnapping and torture. He said they had someone tied up and they were pouring hot water over his head. They were trying to get him to do something. So an FBI agent told O'Neal he would take care of it on exchange for his infiltrating the Panthers. So this guy was a vicious criminal. At 17. This is crazy. I think he was sorry for what he did. He thought the FBI was only going to raid the house, but the FBI gave it over to the state's attorney. That was all Hanrahan wanted. They shot Fred Hampton and made sure he was dead. Heard said he was with his nephew the morning after the ambush when he saw the inside of Fred Hampton's apartment. There was paper strewn all over the floor, blood all over. There was a trail of blood from where they had dragged Fred's body. Bill just stood there in shock. He never thought it would come to all this. Yeah. I mean, he just went undercover for quite some time and kept feeding the FBI information. I mean, you knew damn well they didn't want the information just because they wanted to join the Black Panthers. He knew what the hell it was all about because he was a coon agent in it for himself. These coon agents would not aid the white man. These coon agents, the white man couldn't pull off what he's trying to pull off. He'd have to use more direct means. I know what happened, that was pretty direct, but at the end of the day, they did what they did, and they said that William O'Neal was the reason why they were able to pull it off. These coon agents. That's the reason why Malcolm X was able to get down and get killed. And again, as with Malcolm X, you got to keep in mind, and this is from the movie, but you got to keep in mind, everybody in that apartment, see, that's how it really looked. In the movie, they had it look like it was some one-story housing projects. I don't know why they changed it like that. But everybody in there was probably meant to be killed. To me, I'm still like, damn, it's still shocking that only 2 people did get killed. But the primary target was one of them. So his wife, Fred Hampton Jr., who's still around, he wouldn't have been here. Everybody else, they're victims of attempted murder by the government. They sued, which is an admission of guilt. So this is the thing. And keep in mind, who else in this country gets targeted by the government for assassinations, harassment, murder, lynching? Us, nobody else. Not these foreigners who come here and are able to make it happen in this country because the white man hooks them up. The white man hooks them up with success. He hooks us up with this. And I keep trying to figure out why. Why is it so important for Hoover? Now, some people say it's because he had black ancestry and he was a homosexual. But why is it so important for him to say we must stop the rise of a black messiah? Yeah, keep in mind, in that movie, they were saying our way of life is at risk. I keep asking if Hoover actually said that. We don't know. But like I told other people before, they make it appear as if the FBI agents that set this all up, the Chicago PD, they make it appear as if these guys didn't want to do this. But it was all the evil and now dead, long dead J. Edgar Hoover. He blackmailed them into doing this. Nah. Did he blackmail them into smiling because they got their target? Huh? Did Hoover make them do that? Nope. Sure, they got paid. And just like some of these other Panther movements, like I was going to get into this because they kept mentioning New Haven, and I was reading into that. See, this is the case where they tortured that guy. Now, watching that movie, I'm like, are you trying to tell me that one of the people who did that was the actual agent? I guess this is the room where they actually tortured the kid at. The kid was 19 years old. So as I was reading this, Bobby Seale went to New Haven, home of Yale, Sinister University, because they said something about they needed to toughen up the New Haven Panthers. So they went there. They said something about a snitch and this Alex Rackley guy, 19 years old. It's crazy when you think about how young they were. Now black guys today, they just want to get into gangs and kill people over stupid shit. Now, eliminating the coon agent, I'm going to be honest with you, those are things that need to be done. So if the guy was indeed a coon agent, I think he was, because I'm not going to play this, but I think if you play this, he does confess to having been a coon agent. But of course, when you watch that movie, then you see that they claim that they set that up. And Bobby Seale happened to have been there. He visited the headquarters of the New Haven chapter. And some people say that it was Bobby Seale who said, oh, that's a coon agent. Take him out. Kill him. Because they were supposed to toughen them up. I know this has nothing to do with the story, but it looks like this lady's not wearing a bra. I think that's the 60s for you. That's how they do things. That wild shit. 10-1, these are small hats, because I keep trying to tell people when it comes to these radicals of the 60s and 70s, it's the small hats, man. They have been holding their hand and directing them. But Bobby Seale, they went on trial. Bobby Seale, he was backed by Yale, as well as the Black Panthers. And I think, what's this guy? Let's see if they have him in here. This guy right here, I don't know if that's big enough, but Warren Kimbrough, he was one of the guys who admitted to killing the guy. Now, apparently this Panthers trial was some big shit. They said this is the beginning of the end of the decline of the Panthers. But I don't have it. Oh, yeah, here it is. Something like this. Here it is right here. In 1975, after only 4 years of his prison term, he became the assistant dean of Eastern Connecticut State University. Don't you find that shit strange? A convicted killer, but because he was a Panther, they give him all these accolades. Eastern Connecticut State University, that's a state university. It goes to show, just like you see these Mexicans, I always talk about how they hook them up with everything. If they want to give you something, they'll give it to you. If they want to keep something away from you, they do that. White liberals, that's what they call them. That's why, if you listen to Tariq Nasheed's language, when he says liberals, just like when Malcolm X would say white liberals, that's code word for small hats. But Tariq Nasheed is a coon agent. Just like Carl Evans in that book about Elijah Muhammad, The Rise and Fall of Elijah Muhammad. I noticed in that book, just like I noticed when Tariq Nasheed speaks. I noticed when Dick Gregory spoke. Even when Farrakhan speaks. They make sure to give all praises due to the small hats in their supposed struggle during World War II, which is the only time that they can point to say that they had anybody trying to oppress them. And I got videos circulating on the internet that thoroughly explains the real deal with evidence. And I had a coon agent who was questioning me, trying to act like I didn't know what I was talking about because he was a coon agent, military man. And I answered all questions. See, I don't run from questions. I'm not like Ma'at forever. I'm not like Sa Netter. You ask me a goddamn question, I'm answering it. And if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I'm not going to act like I'm God and I know everything. I'll tell you I don't know. But that's around. You have to dig to find it or run into it by luck. I'm not going to point anybody in the direction. But the coon, if he's listening now, he knows what I'm talking about. He might even make it be known. So be it. But see, you got to understand, when I talk what I talk, my people like calling them debates. I like calling them discussions. You can call them what you want. But see, I don't confine it to ghetto hood rat Negroes. Before I even started debating ghetto hood rat Negroes, which is the people who've been on YouTube, didn't graduate high school, didn't go to college, but they know every damn thing. I mean, it's amazing. They're arrogant, but they don't know shit when it comes down to it, and they don't know how to deal with different people. They only know the hood rat way of debating, which is to overtalk you, to avoid answering questions, to keep calling you names, calling you, they think if they put you down, they won. I like facts. I like logic. You use logic when you don't have absolute fact. And then you're left with what must be. Because everything else, if you can't prove it and everything else doesn't make sense, then the logic has to do what it has to do. So When it comes to the small hats and their World War II situation, I've debated actual small hats 2-on-1. You know how I do. You know I'm not lying because I debate. It could be 2-on-1, 4-on-1, 5-on-1. I don't give a damn because I'm gonna get it out. So they would keep on asking me questions, and they would put on the fake tears because they're all programmed that way. That's what they teach their people. Put on the fake tears for certain scenarios so you don't question nothing. But then I look past the tears because I'm unmoved by tears. I grew up in an all-female household. So I already know what the deal is. I tell people this on purpose because when you deal with me, I want you to know this is what you should expect from me. So don't try nothing funny. But this is what they did. They would keep on. Matter of fact, since I'm talking on that, let me get out of here. So they would constantly ask me, okay, well, if this happened, well, why would they do this? Why would they do that? And I would say, this is why. You keep on bringing them everything until they have no more lies to go by. That's what you do. Once they run out of lies, that's when the frustration comes about. That's when the name calling starts. And that's when it's time to go. And once it's time to go, that's when you know you got them. That's how I do. And I try to tell people this ahead of time. And I do it not out of arrogance. I do it because I'm trying to let them know, don't start lying. Don't come with the bullshit. Once you come with the bullshit, that's my motto. Nobody else take it. Once you start lying, I got you. Because once you tell that lie, you can't get out of it. But see, you never tell these people when they're lying. They know when they're lying. So it is what it is. So there's a reason why my original channel was shut down 3 strikes in one night. Damn. Strike after strike. Still got 1 strike. Yeah, I think I still got my strike too, which is I will admit, and I think I said it on the air, I thought my strike came from those coons. But apparently it came from talking about the C and the V. The one videos that keep coming down of mine and strikes, either they take the videos down or the strikes come, is when I talk about the V or the C or the British. Because see, my British talk coincides with all these actors that they keep having play Black Americans. And they don't like that. This is what I keep trying to tell you. Matter of fact, when they had what's the other thing? Prince Harry. I'm trying not to get too much into it. You can't talk on Kobe. Yep, can't talk on none of that. Oh, I had my one video about Kobe. That's the one video I lost. So I might have to revisit that one day. But that plus Prince Harry, I told people when he first married that Meghan Markle, out of all the they don't hook people up with females like that, especially an American. I said they're trying to merge the two. I'm not going to get too deep because, they might take this down. But then they had that fake beef, moved to Canada. I think they're in the U.S. now. Now they have this new son. I'm sure he'll be born in the USA. We may not live to see it, or we'll be too old to even give a damn. But 35 years, I wouldn't doubt if this little new one is running for president. You think I'm joking? A lot of these presidents, they groom to become president, like Obama. He comes out of those 60s and 70s radicals. Weather Underground. Did a video on that before. I'm telling you, That's why when it comes to Kamala Harris, Obama, if you notice, not only do they both have the British connection in Kenya, Jamaica, and India, it's clear that Obama's mother was in the CIA. She's traveling too much into too many key countries that the CIA is involved in. Too many. But let's see, they gave me a strike for a video I did on. Yeah, a lot of people have been getting strikes on her and exposing her and the connections with, yeah. Abramovich, small hat, of course. It's deep. That's why I downloaded that Henry Ford international situation. And I got to read that. Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, the real test, if you're not afraid to speak on, the small hats. And now you got to give them the gay test. See, here's another thing these people are doing. These coon agents. Farrakhan, they endorse, and they endorse this Rizza Islam guy. So when you come across guys like the Black Authority, or I'll give Tariq Nasheed, he's no idiot. When you know something about a guy, or he's not deep and they keep endorsing him, oh yeah, this Rizza Islam, oh, this brother is deep. No, that brother is a goddamn coon agent. Matter of fact, let me get back on the screen. I'm going to drop the link people can post up, so to speak. But I'm going to get back on this real quick. I'm going to show you what they do. They've been backing this guy. Now, I'm going to show you why. One of the reasons why they keep backing this guy. Matter of fact, let me do it this way. Yeah, I guess this is good enough right here. Now, see, Farrakhan, he was always on C-SPAN, always on the media. Again, if you take a guy like Eric Muhammad, see, always with the celebrities, you take a guy like Eric Muhammad, they don't put him all over the media because that's a guy they don't want out there. See, guys like Louis X, they want out there because that's their boy. That's when his teeth are a little closer to the natural. Louis X. But see, this is why they put the Rizza Islam out there. See, he's already hobnobbing with everybody because the Rizza Islam somewhat resembles Louis X in his younger years. Anybody associated with this guy, I'm calling them all out as coon agents. You already know this Umar Johnson guy is famous for no reason at all. The truth be told, he still gets tons of interviews. For what? Now, I would love to do battle with Umar just on the Pan-African ideology alone. Never mind the damn school. Just on the Pan-Africanism. Because I don't believe in that way of life. Matter of fact, here they are together. Got the same type of hairdo. Matter of fact, damn, I just had that other picture I wanted to show. Well, here's another one. These two guys right here. See, even Nuri Muhammad resembles Farrakhan. Here it is, too. That's a little dude. He resembles Farrakhan. But see, that's the whole trick. Matter of fact, who's that lady? I forgot her name. Attorney General during the... No. Surgeon General. Not now. Damn, during Obama. What's her name? I think she was the Surgeon General. All right, let me see Obama administration. Let's see. I guess that wasn't her. What the hell is her title? The hell is that lady? Oh, no. So I hate when you're trying to bring it up, you forget their name. You know he's an agent, but he's not one of us, though. I keep telling people they didn't kill Kennedy for nothing. Damn, I forgot the lady's name. Damn, she had the big ass titties. And she looked just like Obama. Let me see if people got the answer for that one. What's her name? Damn. Fuck, what was her name? Okay, let me see if I can get his administration. It's not Valerie Jarrett, who is another, I'm sure she's a small hat. She got that small hat look. She got that look, those eyes, that whole look. But they want you to say that's a black woman. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a separate show on small hats one day. Judges. What the fuck was her name? God damn. How can I forget this lady's name? She had the big titties. She looked just like them. I forgot what her title was, but anyway, that's what they try to do. They try to get you people who look like somebody else. That's why Nation of Islam guys, if you notice, with their hairdos and stuff, they pattern themselves after this man with the look. That's why they do their hair like that. Now I got to get the book on him, but nobody has really been able to put together his history. I think they probably hid his history a lot in order to have people have him seem mysterious, you know? Well, let me show people like this because a lot of people are still unclear about Elijah Muhammad. I think somebody else showed it too. Freemason. But a lot of people, and here you go again. It's all a game. It's all a game. This sinister guy right here. That's what I want to talk about too. Hoover. Now, obviously, they say he was black and a homosexual. They say the mob had pictures on him But I think the CIA got it for the mob. But obviously, he never talked about the mob. I think talking about black people and going after black people was cover for not going after the mob. That's what I believe. No way to verify that, but when you say that black people are the biggest threat to national security, anybody with half a brain will have to be like, why? The truth of the matter is organized crime was the biggest threat. It is the biggest threat to national security, but they've already done the deed under the small hats, though. The Italians weren't in control. Now, of course, people always talk about how he had black ancestry, which, hey, that nose and those wide eyes and that rounded head. See, as people start looking old, they start looking a little bit more white. You can even see some blacking out Al Capone because he kind of looked like Coogee Rap. That's why Coogee Rap said he had a smile like Al Capone. Hard to believe this motherfucker was young as hell, too. Crazy maniac. Now, I was watching Columbo, of course. I'm going to see who checked in a minute. Came across this episode with this guy. Puerto Rican, Jose Ferrer. Now, he grew up rich. He got to play white people, but you can still see that schnoz, that black schnoz, and see some. If you see him in color, one hand a little black, other hand a little white. Married a white woman to make sure he had white kids, or whiter looking kids. But this is how they do. You see how he has a general white characteristics. Put that schnoz right there, man. That schnoz gives it away. But it goes to show the mind. That's what you got to go by. So when people say who's black, who's not, what do they think? What do they want to be? I don't care if Amici X married black men or had kids with black men. She's still Polish. So, it is what it is on that. But somebody else I want to, Hoover. I think what he had cover with the mob. The CIA and the FBI, if you follow anything, the CIA and the FBI, they were basically going back and forth, trying to blackmail each other. Because Hoover had unprecedented power in the United States, as you all know. But the CIA, they had to do what they had to do. And Hoover wanted to get files on everybody else so he can blackmail everybody else, not only keep his job, but I believe it's also to keep his personal secrets, which is being as the Jamaicans say, batty boy. So, back then you couldn't be a funny man. So that's why he would always go after gays, but he wouldn't really go kill them. He would try to expose homos because he didn't want to be exposed. But it was, everybody knew. Matter of fact, I just ordered the damn book. What's the name of that shit? By Anthony Summers. So that should be coming soon. I said, fuck that. I got to read into that shit. I didn't see that movie on Hoover by Clint Eastwood. They explored the homosexuality from what I read, but they didn't get into his blackness. And I keep finding reviews on the book about the lady who did talked about his ancestry. I see that people are like, who cares if he was black or not? Black people say, who cares? He was against black people. Well, that might give you ideas of his motives because a lot of people like to attack the people who they are as cover. Some people overplay their part. As you can see, when he's younger, a lot of his characteristics, a lot of people would have pointed these out. See that nose and those eyes. People would have pointed that out a long time ago. But, It is what it is. Who's this other guy? See, when you get older, you start getting those what they call liver spots. As long as your eyes are blue, you can get away with being white. But when your eyes get a little darker, it's a little different. Matter of fact, where's that famous picture of him that they've been removing from the internet? Oh, here it is, right here. So they've been letting this shit go. They've been removing this shit for a while. I don't know if this is a process picture or not, but see, here's another one. I mean, come on now. See, sometimes it's like when you see half black, half white people, like when you look at Michi X, let's see if we got a picture of her. Matter of fact, let me get to the video. Especially some of her latest videos. Matter of fact, let me get this in HD. See, sometimes when you look at people one way, you see what you want to see. Like you'll see black when you want to see it. Matter of fact, before I got here tonight, this is what I was doing. This is why I was almost late. Because I was watching, people still going on Vlad TV. Oh, I guess that wasn't the latest video, huh? God damn it, is what came up on the thing. Okay. This is what I was watching. How long ago? See, it was only 3 weeks ago. See, I'm not subbed to him. So I might watch some of his videos, but I'm not subbed. Even though, obviously, with 4.4 subs, 4 million subs, he doesn't need, my sub is not going to make or break him. But he's a small hat too. Agent of the people in control. They push everybody so they can keep everybody out front and lead the show. So she still goes on here. And the reason why I bring her up, matter of fact, let me show another picture of her real quick from her younger days. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, she has the hell? Hold up. I thought that was her right there. I was about to say, man, the fuck? She let herself go. But CC Peniston. Hey, when you want to, okay, this is good enough, I guess, right here. That's still not old enough, but you know how she used to look back in the days. I wanted it in color. So you can, I guess this would be close enough right here. In other words, this is the point I'm trying to make. Not only is her color different now, but if you look at her, then you look at her, you would think, okay, well, CC Peniston is half white, but she's not, which I was kind of shocked now. Not to say that some of her parents, I think mainly her father, is not white looking, but she's not half white. But obviously white, that doesn't mean that white is not there. But see, this lady is half white. That's why she will wear the braids a lot, so you won't be thinking that. So when you look at her, then you'll start getting into your mind people who have the CC Peniston look. That those bright skinned black people. Oh, okay. And then you start saying to yourself, oh, okay. This is the look. This is why I can accept her as black. But this lady's Polish. And let me see, there's one scene I was watching one of her videos, this video. Sometimes you look at it, you see black, you see what you want to see. Then you see again, you can see like that forehead. That's a Polish forehead. I'd be willing to bet that her father was a bald guy. And I ain't trying to be funny, but the way her edges and her forehead is, I could tell. Her skin tone. Sometimes when she turns to the side, that's what I'm trying to look for this profile. She doesn't turn to the side often. You know what? Hell with that. I'll just find it on here because I know she's turned to the side on here. Hey, and by the way, I got a strike when I played her music that time. Not a strike, but a warning. Now you see her nose, but in that video, it's different. See, her nose has that point to it. I know some people might say it's kind of rounded, but in the video, it's pointy, a little more pointy. But it sticks out. That's not supposed to be how black people's noses are. So, you know, you got people who out here, they're mixed. There was somebody else I was supposed to point out. I forgot who it was, but the point is you can see blackness. See those nostrils? See those lips? See the eyes? Just like Hoover. The wide eyes. But see, the eyes are blue. That's why I always try to tell people. You see, it's kind of weird how the lips got thinner here, but they were thicker in his younger days. And that wasn't like some contrast. So that's weird. It wasn't contrast from the primitive photos. It's just weird. But oh yeah, I know who I want to check out too. Come on. Now with him, see, now he kind of looks like Eisenhower. You think about it. Now he is half white. I bring this up so you can see those lips, thin lips like a white man. I don't know if that hair is a wig or not, because when he had the high top fade, it wasn't looking like that, unless he modified that. I don't know. But you see, as he gets older, he looks more apparently white. Not that he wasn't looking pretty white before, but the hair made you think black. But see, without the hair, now you thinking white, thin lips. So with Ike, I mean, it's no secret about what's been going on in this nation. I mean, see the small mouth, but that nose, wide eyes. So anyway, let me see who was on, because I think I said just about enough. Hold up. Nope, nobody's coming on, so I'll answer some questions. Let's see. I would not listen to Michi X, but I'm a Bible believer. She's promoted Vodun, and she rolls with Tommy, who goes as far as celebrating the death murder of our people. See, Michi X, one of the questions I was going to ask her, and she knows one of the questions, that's why she keeps avoiding me. Matter of fact, damn it, since I was on that, let me see if I can actually find that video. So you can see I'm not bullshitting when I said she gave me a few shout outs, as a matter of fact. But she just won't answer my questions. Let's see, where's that? Here we go. Here's the video. Okay, here we go. Let me show you so you can see I'm not bullshitting. She had a call in. I'm set this up. She had a call in. She had it on Zoom. I guess they had tighter control on Zoom. But I got in. She saw me back there. I was making comments backstage, so to speak. As soon as she saw me, then she's like, we got to start wrapping this up. She could have taken the damn call, but she didn't want to do that. But here's what she had to say.
Fuck them kids and them dresses. I hope them little motherfuckers die. Like, she's mad at black kids for teasing her. She's mad at the whole world and everybody. And Monica's funny because Monica will blow up and go to fuck off on me. But then Monica be like, well, girl, I just want you to understand me. So Monica want to be heard. Monica, we going to let you be heard because I want to have this transgender conversation. So I hope that you will be here tomorrow when we come back, because I don't have a problem having conversations with you. I really don't. Monica is really mad. Monica's also really hurt. So I want to hear about that because I've had plenty of conversations with Monica, you know, in email and everything else. So, and in case y'all haven't got that yet, Monica is a transgender woman. I think I'm saying it right. I don't know. Don't get mad at me if I'm saying it wrong. But she's a man and wants to be a woman, right? And so, you know, that's why she's so upset when we started having that conversation about transgenders. So, so we'll get into that conversation tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be back. But Monica talking about that's all I'm asking for, Monica. But you know, I always talk. Not hit that notification bell. From if you look at the whole, and only then can you trickle out into your community. We're gonna do it. So y'all will see me tomorrow too. I'll be back live. So for everybody that called in, I want to thank you for being on the line. I apologize if you didn't get in. Alquanr, that's your name. Fuck you. I sent you in the chat. You call in every time I have a call in, and you always call with some bullshit. Like when I get on the phone, I think the last time you called in, you asked me, well, you're out here fighting for the black community. Why aren't you fighting for the Polish community? And I said to you, well, what does the Polish community need help with? Please let me know this. Well, what is it I should be fighting for? And you didn't have an answer for that. So I'm sure you'll be back here tomorrow because you love to get on here and talk shit. And I would love to have a conversation with you. I wonder if Monica will be back tomorrow. I'm sure she will. Monica be on all of these.
She said she wanted to have that conversation. I want to have it too. But the problem was she never came back. She didn't come back. She didn't do it live again. So we couldn't have that conversation. So she BS'd. And on top of that, when I did ask her, what did she do for the Polish community that time, that's when she had that Dr. Shona with her. I guess they split up. But I got hung up on after I asked that question. So that's why we couldn't have that conversation at that time. So she's bullshitting. Now she seems like she should be open, but she's seen the videos I made on her, just like Tariq Nasheed has seen the videos that I made on him. That's why he has been listening to my shit and stealing my shit and stealing the shit of the guests that I've had on here. Now we laid a trap for this guy, Tariq Nasheed. Now other people don't know that I laid a trap for this guy, but we're gonna see if this man falls for the trap. And anybody else who wants to steal, we're gonna see if they're gonna fall for the trap that's been laid out. Just be patient. Let's see what happens. Because once they start stealing, and once you start hearing it, there's going to be no doubt that it came from here. No doubt about that. Let's see. A bit off topic. A Nigerian woman who played Harriet Tubman played Aretha Franklin. Yeah, I ain't see that yet. Matter of fact, I'm just hearing about the Salt and Pepper one and leaving out Spinderella today. I'm like, because I don't really, I don't have cable like that. But apparently Lifetime is showing it complete on their website. So I might check that out after I get off of here. See what they do on that. I guess they didn't want to pay Spinderella. A lot of groups, once that money starts slowing down, you have people, usually a lot of times it's one person, the one who trademarked the group's name, or could be two. They start saying to themselves, you know what? I ain't sharing what little bit of money there is that's left. So I'm coming in, I'm taking it. Oh, Ray says device not connected. So I don't know. That happens a lot. Maybe that means your mic or something is not on. But you could disable the cam though if you wanted to though. But I think you gotta let the mic come through. But try it again. But once that money starts slowing down, that's when people start. I mean, you name the group, rock group, Climax, Clarence, Credence Clearwater Revival, any group you could think of. They break up. Some people like, I got to scramble for that money, you know, make sure I get it. So that's what they do, and they leave people out, you know. Yeah, click in. I promise not to do any live streaming or talking today. Well, thank you. No Sprinderella. Now watch it. I'm going to watch it because I want to see how they're going to flip it without her. Maybe they could be jealous because, you know, they didn't age too well. You know, and Sprinderella, she's still looking good. You know, now, historically, in the rap game, DJs, you know, they didn't really get too much money. I admit a lot of DJs were for show. It depends on who the DJs were, of course. You know, if it's Grandmaster Flash, Hollywood, Howie T, people like that, Molly Mall, you know, who actually made stuff too, or did something to create a name for themselves outside of a rapper, they're going to get more shine than a rapper or than a DJ who came along with the group that was already established, because they did switch up Spinderella's, because there was another one that was there and then she came along, but the name remained. So it happens, but you look through the 80s, 90s, whenever there was a DJ, most of the DJs were, I don't want to call them actors, but they were a part of the act, so to speak, but they weren't really doing nothing unless they had some scratching and mixing. But once people stopped scratching, I mean, there was really no use for a DJ. You know, that's why now you see people don't really talk about my DJ, they talk about my producer, you know, because that's what you need. You don't need nobody spinning no records, you know what I mean? And never converse with a person who answers a question with a question. Like Tommy. Well, I'm taking these out of order. That's what Ma'at forever. Matter of fact, I encourage people to pay Ma'at forever a visit if you want to have stimulating conversation, or at least attempt to. Because when you asked him a question, you think you're going to get an answer because he starts answering. And then the next thing you know, he spins it around and starts asking you a question. And he demands an answer from you, but he never gave you an answer to your questions. And then you say something like, well, you know what? I don't mind answering the question, sir, but can I please get the answer to my question that I asked you prior to your asking me the question? Then he's like, oh, no, you have to answer the question. Why don't you want to answer the question? You know, they turn it around on you. That's what Sodnetter does too. You know, he comes from that world. So they flip it around on you, ask you questions. Then when you say, I'm not answering the question until I get my answer, oh, this guy's full of shit. Or even if you do answer the question quickly, then they say, they want to go deeper into the answer. Anything to avoid answering the question because they're paranoid. You know, you can't be paranoid. If you're out there in the public, you have a so-called agenda, you're supposed to be able to handle any kind of questions like Meatball. And Lasheed, for you, you might know Meatball, but not by that name. You know, that angel guy with the 7 at the end. Mississippi guy. All of our problems stem from the fact that he's afraid to answer a few questions. So he does like a lot of people do. They create a scene, a commotion, because they'd rather avoid the whole situation and show their behinds than to answer questions. This guy, yeah, I'm sure you know who that guy is. He lets himself be known. But when it comes to answering questions, he's like, I'm open for questions. Ask me anything. But he's another guy who constantly blocks and deletes when you ask questions. Anybody who asks questions, they get blocked and deleted. Just like my forever, he blocks and deletes. But then he says, hey, man, people ask some questions. I'm ready. I'm here. But everybody who's ready to ask questions got blocked and deleted. That's how they do it. I mean, the Ma'at forever, he saw that nobody was on his lives anymore because the people see how he does. He's constantly deleting you. So nobody wants to take a chance. That's why the angel guy, nobody comes on his lives because except for the same people that's part of his crew. Yeah, Meatball. Because they want safe questions, just like Signetter. They want safe questions. Questions they already know the answers to. Questions that won't make them reveal themselves. I can't help it. I got to ask. You want to call them revealing questions? I do it because nobody else does. Excuse me. He'll have people on who ask the same stuff, either questions that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what do you think about the Hebrews in the Bible? That's an endless debate. That's BS. Who cares about that? All these guys are ex-cons, killers even, who are out pulling an ex-con. That's what these people are. They're con men. It's the Hotep hustle. I'm getting into that. Should be happening on Friday. The Hotep hustle. That's what it's all about. It's the new con game, just like the Nation of Islam was the new con game for those ex-cons. You know? So it's frustrating, but at the same time, if they weren't so afraid, all they have to do is, to the best of their ability, answer the question. If you don't want to answer the question, you know how to bullshit because that's what you're good at, bullshitting. So just say, give me some bullshit. But I think they're afraid because they know once they give me the bullshit, then I got to follow up with another question to get some clarification. So that's what they don't like. Yeah, why she got to run? Hey, man, that's what she does. That's how Michi X handles it. She acts like she wanted to answer the questions, but she ran. Never came back for a live the next day. I mean, I'm going to show her respect. If she's listening now, because I invited her here, she said, no, you seem to have all the answers about me. Stick with that. So that's why I did. I stuck with that. So, it is what it is. You make sure to get the same people, who are agents set up to represent Yah's people. He will not offer Ronald Dalton a platform. He won't offer anybody a platform. Over the years, if you notice, anybody who comes with something other than something that verifies or supports them, they go from, hey, brother, what you got to do, brother? Speak your piece, brother, to listen here, nigga. That's how it works. That's hostility. How can you go from brother to a nigga just because you ask a question or you see things differently? You can't see things differently? I mean, come on. And he keeps all these groups around, wars and all these groups, because they're all Freemason related. That's why he keeps them around and keeps them relevant, because it's an endless debate of religion. Again, it's been 2021 years. People have been debating this for that long. If you didn't get any resolution to it by now, You never will. But as long as the money keeps coming in, yeah, I heard, yeah. NYPD and now other camps, they did show the evidence that those people are into some wild stuff. So, and they get a lot of press in the middle of the country. They seem to have a lot of money, pretty well organized. But unfortunately, this is the way agents operate. Everything is designed to take us off of reality. See, that's the thing. You have a man who says he talks about reality. But when you want to speak about reality, he's afraid to speak on it. I've invited the man many times. Matter of fact, the man in reality BS'd me. He lied to me. He said he doesn't lie. But he lied. He said he was coming on right after the Sister Noble with the book. He said he was next up. But he lied. I'm sick. I ain't got the time. All while he was lying, he was going on live after live after live and doing live after live after live. He's a liar. He goes on the people. I notice he goes on the people's channels who don't know him. And they're going to be soft with him. But when it's people, and I wasn't even going to be hard on him. I was just going to inquire about the Mississippi campaign. But I already had little debates with him in the past, so he knows some of the questions that I'm going to ask. And he has no answers to them. As a matter of fact, there's no need for me to wait on it. The reason why, I'll just tell you one of the questions I was going to ask. When are you going to get to it? That's the simple question. You know, it's like me. I tell people all the time, I go shopping for a new car. I'm not telling people, oh, I'm about to get a new car, because people are going to keep bugging you. Did you get it yet? After a month or so pass, did you get it yet? You keep saying no. Then after a while, people are going to say, this guy's full of shit. So that's why, don't tell them, just do it. And that's the thing with Mississippi campaign or going back to Africa or going to Africa. Don't tell them. When are you happening? When is this happening? When are you doing it? Remember, Tariq Nasheed, he used to spend time, he still goes to Africa and the Caribbean to spend his money, just like Sayonetta. He spends his money with his Dominican people. That Nepal, what's her name? Nepal. Matter of fact, I got this thing on. Let me put this on. I call her the big titty lady. And obviously, she's on his channel, so he can promote her. And let me turn the video down because I don't want to. I want the music playing. Into this real quick. As you all know, this lady right here, Nepal. Real name probably Maria Gonzalez or some shit like that, because she's Dominican. And I keep telling people, is it a coincidence that they keep having, it's all Caribbean? I mean, is that a coincidence? I call it the big titty lady because not only does she have some big ass titties, but she keeps taking great effort to display these titties. Matter of fact, let me see. There was one video he had up here, or her up there. Not that one. You see this Israelite right here You can't tell me my man doesn't look like a certified nut, but they keep having him up there. Let's see, was it this one? Yeah, it's this one right here. She got views. Hopefully everybody knows the Sister Noble was here. Hopefully she got her views or sales on the book. Again, when I had her up here, and I did put the video back up. When I had her up here, because I was trying to do a noble thing by letting this lady try to promote her book in hopes that she would get on other channels once they see that she was on other channels, and then her book can gain momentum and get whatever she can get out of it. I didn't ask for any money. I didn't ask for any self-promotion. But that was the whole point I was trying to make. And she got on here. So as you can see, this lady is supposed to be an Israelite, but she wears some pretty revealing clothing here. I mean, fishnet outfit with the bra showing and the titties showing. I mean, come on. They're trying to sell sex. We know what this is all about. You know, she's cute, but she's a Dominican. And trust me, I've been to many strip clubs that were Dominican, had Dominican females in it. So this is not something that's shocking for them. But she's supposed to be Israel, and no Israelite by their rules would sanction this type of look. Look at this outfit. You know this is a stripper, hooker, porno outfit. That's what it's designed for, to reveal things. This ain't designed. I mean, this interview happened February 12th at the peak of coldness and the snow coming. Now it's leveled off. Now we're into the 40s. It's going to move into the 50s. We're almost at March. But when this video was made, that's when the snow was going crazy and the cold was going crazy. So we know she ain't wearing this to keep warm. That's what if she wasn't trying to show her titties off, she could have worn a black bra. But she wore the red bra on purpose to make sure that you see the titties. The contrast between the outfit and the titties. These people know what they're doing. Trying to get her numbers up so she can get her revenue going. That's what he did with other people like Hassan Campbell. That's why they keep that shit going. It's all a scheme. In this case, she's boring. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's boring as hell. Now, I've been on there in the chat room. I was trying to make comments. She would block and delete. Block and delete. That's what people do when they don't have the answers. Block and delete. This Max Bird guy, he could be okay, but for the most part, they block and delete if you don't agree with them. So you can never ask these people questions because it's a whole hustle. Even though she's supposed to be Israelite, but technically it's all related. Now I'm going to say with this Sister Noble, since I'm on this topic, God is on trial. Even her man, Meatball, had to critique her for what she was saying in this episode. I'll give it to him. At least he did, but I noticed with everybody he deals with, he finds a way to beef with them at some point in time. And I was supposed to have been banned from his channel, but then he put up a video when me and him were having a discussion. I said, damn, I thought I was supposed to be banned. Ban me outright, ban me all the way. But anyway, she talks about the Anunnaki coming here from alien worlds to impregnate people in order to make people great. Now, I can easily bust that shit wide open like this. Number one, if you don't believe in God, why do you believe in aliens? That's number one. You haven't seen either one, but you're going to believe in some aliens. Two, why would some aliens come to Earth? She said marry Why would they say, damn, I'm looking for some intergalactic sex? Let me come to the earth and find some human beings and do my thing with them. And in turn, our greatness will make them great. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say, what is this supposed to be? 4,000 years ago, whatever it is. How come they didn't find some elephants or some lions or some bears and say, you know what? Let's impregnate them and make them great. But they chose human beings, right? Makes no sense. Just like she says, God makes no sense. And because you can't see him, God doesn't answer to their command. They want God to do certain things. God won't do it. So therefore, God does not exist. So I can have those debates too. But when I have the debate, I like to shut the case on it so we don't have to revisit it. That's the way I like to do things. See, the way they like to do things, they like to keep on talking about it for years and years and years because it brings money. It brings views. That's why you don't see me making video after video every day. I only make videos when I feel there's a need for something to talk about something. So that's why with Sister Noble and her alien thing, man, that kind of, to me, that kind of went to the opposite direction of her whole thesis that God is on trial. So in my view, if the other guys that people talked about is on trial for being a fraud and a phony, now you supplemented God with some goddamn mysterious aliens who are supposed to impregnate people. So now they're God that you're claiming. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but it doesn't make any sense. And this Sister Nepal, I'm not even going to call her a sister since she's a Dominican, just like this guy right here, Dominican. I refer to her as the big titty lady because her God is trying to sell these titties. When she first stepped on the scene, that's what it was about. You know, she covered them at first, teasing, and then she unleashed those titties. And she is cute. I'd be lying if I said that she wasn't. And then she has those gigantic titties. You know, they know what the hell they're doing. She knows what she's doing. But they don't want you to talk about them. That's not what it's about. You can't call up and say, hey, about those titties. You can't do that. Instead, you got to act like you don't see these titties that she's trying to show off. You got to act like you're being serious and worried about, God, you call up this show, Nepal, about the Lord and Savior. She's like, yeah, well, Jesus is this and Jesus is that. Yeah, man, those titties, man. Praise the Lord. You can't do these things, but they know what they're trying to do. They're trying to reel you in. But Sister Noble, I think she learned from her mistakes coming on my channel, so she handled herself better. I gave her tips, but she still hated on me. That's why I removed the video. All I was trying to do was help, but she hated on me. But she took my advice still. But I didn't tell her to go into some alien talk. I didn't tell her to do that. I told her to thoroughly explain your book to the people, because you write a book about it, you're supposed to know about it. You can't start talking about, I don't know about this. But obviously, if you talk about God, truth be told, everybody talking about God should be saying, I had no idea. Because I always say, anybody who says that they have the answers to God, they're lying to you. It's plain and simple. This is the big ass titty lady right here, though. Believe me, anybody knows me, you know I'm trying to catch her. Gotta check her out. She looks like that thing in the movie from the Crying Game. Hey, man, she has some big ass situations going on there. I'm not going to criticize her because I know that I'm still cussing, listening to music with bad lyrics. So Yeah, man. Caribbeans must not speak for Native Black Americans ever. That's exactly correct. And you know I've been kicking that before Tariq Nasheed changed his tune, which when you would listen to him, you could tell he's not secure in what he's saying. He doesn't believe in it, but he has to take advantage of the situation as of now because he doesn't want me to lead the way. But like I said before, I don't like the man stealing my style without giving me the credit. That's fine. But he's inadvertently propagating what I say to a much larger audience. Not for my benefit, of course. But see, he doesn't know it is for my benefit because I just want to make my people aware. That's all. And in the coming weeks, I'm gonna do a video. I laugh because I've been saying I was going to do this for a while. Do a video that I've been planning on. I'm not going to say what it is because you've got people out here looking to preempt me. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just spring it on you. It's going to be very revealing. And watch these people jump on that. But you got to listen to the people, whether it's Tariq Nasheed or somebody else, when they say, we were here already. But they still talk about Africa and Pan-Africanism, or that we came from Africa. They're lying to you. They don't really believe what they say. They're just jumping on the latest thing that they see other people jumping on. And that's why you see a lot of Caribbeans also there saying, we're Native American. We're the Native American made it to Jamaica, which could be. You know, like I said, when I was playing that Assassin's Creed game, even when I was a little kid, I'm going to tell you this, man, playing video games and even reading comic books, you can learn a whole lot. Now, today, reading comic books, I don't want to know what the fuck is going on in these comic books today because Disney bought up Marvel. And I've heard about some of the stuff that they changed around and are emphasizing. I don't want to know about that. But the Assassin's Creed Black Flag game, now I was learning as I was playing the game and reinforcing things like seeing mine ruins in the Caribbean. You know, that's something. And you got a better idea of how to navigate the Caribbean and interact with empires and ships and history and all that kind of stuff. So that's a good thing in regards to that. So you do learn a lot in video games. So I don't doubt that if we were here first, obviously you had the Mayans, the Incas, everybody else. So you had people in the Caribbean. Like I always say, the Caribbean is too damn black to have been something else. But that's why a lot of people like to say claim that it was a slave hub. There's no reason why the Caribbean would have been a slave hub. You know, you got French, Spain, and the UK. They're going to share that hub. And we all know the British and the Spanish and the British and the French were going to war all the damn time. So they're going to share a hub? Come on, get out of here with that shit. But when it does come to the Caribbean, they got African culture, African cuisine. That's another thing Tariq Nasheed stole from me. Because you notice how he qualified when I played that. You can go check out my old video I did on him. I think it's the one, You Know My Name, or some other one before that, where he was talking about Spain's food being Spanish food in the jollof rice. I've been telling that story for years. That's why he qualified Alquanr. Who's Alquanr? What does this guy have out officially released that's dropping game? Well, it's not for sale. Mr. Nasheed, but it's out there. It's been out there. People who know me know I've always made the correlation between Spanish rice and that jollof rice. And unlike Tariq Nasheed, I speak not only from research, but from my own experiences. And I told everybody this before. I used to date a Nigerian woman for 5 long years. I've been to her parties. I've seen the food. That's where I first made the connection. This is Spanish rice. But I asked her the history first on the rice before I said this is Spanish rice, to be sure that it wasn't introduced from Spain into Africa. And I did do the history on it. Obviously, it came from Africa first. You know? So this guy acted like he made the connection with the Caribbean cuisine being African food, even the kind that came from Spain, because I always pointed that out to these Hispanics, because when I used to be on that your African stuff to a lot of them, especially those goddamn Dominicans, those were my primary adversaries, and some to a lesser degree the Puerto Ricans. He acts like he knows Dominican. He's out there in Los Angeles. You know, damn well, there ain't that many Dominicans out there. You know, nothing about no goddamn Dominicans. So I would always tell them, you people are black, you people are African. Yeah, I was like that with some, like the way some of these Pan-Africans were. Like I said, I was under the spell too. I wasn't an official Pan-African, but they kind of had my mind thinking like theirs. And I thought that I had to let other black people know, you're black. I don't give a damn if you speak Spanish. But I wouldn't really stress African. I would always stress black, though. So one of my arguments or my talking points with them and Puerto Ricans would be the food. Because you can't deny the food now. And then my fallback always was, because I know where their minds are going to go when they start lying. I already know people are going to start lying. I would say the Spanish food, because I know once you get them out of that Caribbean food, because there are foods unique to the Caribbean too, that didn't come from Africa. But I said, once you start getting them into that lie, you know their fallback is going to be Spanish food. And then that's when I bring in the Spanish food is actually African food. The paella, that's African. The rice, that's African. A whole lot of that shit is African. If you think I'm joking, that's why you'll see Spanish and Portuguese food differs from French food, Italian food, British food. They're totally different. And you eat the shit with your hands. Of course, a lot of people eat them with forks now. And the paella, you know, it's the same thing that they used to have. They do it in Arabia too. Sit around. Like I was watching one video, they had a camel that they cooked. Piles of rice and some other shit that go along with it. Put it all around, you start eating. There quite a few times I talked about something with the vid stream, and Tariq would talk about it in the stream. That can just be quinky dink, but I help but wonder. See, me, here's the thing. He only does, when he takes from me, it's long after I said it. But the key is, I got my shit documented. He says what I say, but he doesn't seem to go beyond what I say. It's like when you're in the classroom and the teacher asks you to explain some shit, but you just read it, looked it up on some article, or you heard somebody, one of your buddies talking about it. Like when women talk about sports, no offense, but you know how it is. They don't really like sports, but They might watch ESPN. They'll hear, oh man, Tom Brady wins his 7th Super Bowl. First time out with the Bucks after having been with the Patriots. Women will repeat that and repeat it in a way that they sound like they've been fans for years. And then when you start saying, oh, yeah, then you remember when he did this? Remember when he did that? Remember when he lost to the Giants and he could have won it like that way, and he could have won it with against Philly? Then you start losing them because they're like, oh, I don't know about that shit. I ain't hear about that shit. So then they start pulling away. That's what Tariq Nasheed does. He just recites what he heard, but then no more than that because he can't explain any more than that. At best, he'll add another one line of bullshit. That's it. Then he goes on. Now, when I was in college, true bullshitters, white people, they would do what I just said, but they'd be smart enough to get a little bit animated. You know what I mean? But not overplaying their part. They were real smooth, man, real smooth. They would say it in a convincing way to make you think, my God, this motherfucker really knows what he's talking about. But motherfucker hardly came to class. It was just unbelievable. And Tariq doesn't like Alquanr. Now, he likes me. But he just doesn't want to mention me. Blacks are obsessed with Dominicans. Nah, I think we're obsessed with the fact that they're obsessed, that is, Dominicans are obsessed with not being black or not wanting to be black, even when they look blacker than us. You know, it's just that simple. But now you've had a shift, slight shift, where some Dominicans are saying, oh, yeah, I'm African. I'm proud of my African roots. But you can catch their lie because they say things like, oh, yeah, my whole life, yeah, we weren't black or African or anything, but, you know, not too long ago, I just started looking into it. And then I learned that we're African and we're black. That's how you know they're lying. You don't have to learn that you're black and you're African. Well, I'm sorry, you do have to learn that you're African, but not if you're in the Caribbean. But learning that you're black, hell no. You look in the mirror, you know. I told you the story. See, Tariq can't tell you these stories because he doesn't have these experiences because he's in Los Angeles. But I told you I come across too many Dominicans who say, people keep thinking I'm black because they say I look black. You do. I mean, damn. Dominicans are triracial. See, this is another lie. Puerto Ricans claim to be triracial. How come they don't look the same? Yes, I know that there are some light-skinned Dominicans and even a couple of what I would call white ones. But even the light-skinned Dominicans that resemble Puerto Ricans, they're more on the yellow color, tannish yellow color. While a lot of Puerto Ricans are on that light, bright color. But they both claim to be triracial. Dominicans are trying to get rid of or get out of the blackness by being mixed. Yeah, some are mixed to a degree, but the main result is black. That's the bottom line. That's why both Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, they like to fall back on that I'm Native American, Boricua, Taino. Well, I mean, if it's like that, give us the look of this Taino that you're talking about. They can't do it because the one commonality I see black. That's the commonality. But they don't like talking about that. He creates his own narrative on some things. He has no proof. That black women will prevent slave revolts during slavery. He will lie. And a lot of times when you catch him, like I said, I see the small things I listen to. He'll say things like, oh man, what's that name? What's that person's name? I can't think of their name. He just forgot his research and the bullshit that he was doing. Now, I know some people might say, well, you just forgot that lady's name. And I did forget her name, but I didn't forget who the hell she was, though. I forgot her name, though. I really forgot her name. I got her face in my head. And he was wrong on the Salem witch trials, using it to claim that white women were more oppressed than black women. I had to do a response vid to that, explaining the history of the trials. So that's good. People have to keep checking this guy. You know, again, when it comes to the small hat thing, he has to keep qualifying, just like a lot of people do. Whenever they talk about us, he has to, all praises due to the small hats, just the way Stephen A. Smith has to do it. Whenever he talks about what we did, he has to say, oh man, they were heroes. People picked on them. People tortured them. They want to exterminate them. And they fought through it. They battled. Well, they did a whole lot of fighting, but they're not doing nothing for us. They got all the money. Where's our money at? You know, every time I listen to the radio, Max Kellerman show, I hear that, lift every voice and sing. This day in Black history. I'm like, man, I hate hearing that shit. It makes it seem like we're constantly begging for acceptance. We're weak. See, that Uncle Tomism that we have here comes from that Freemason sect. They tell us, if you haven't noticed, they're always telling us and directing us. Now, I don't mind their direction if their direction leads us to someplace. Now, I got to tell you this, too. Okay, we got a troll. I'm gonna let you troll on, as long as you don't get disrespectful. See, now you can see my level of disrespect is different from these people I'm talking about. See, disrespect to them is asking questions. Oh, now you're getting disrespectful. You're asking the wrong questions. Disrespect to me is calling people names without asking questions. But I'm gonna let that slide because it's not bad comments that he's making. It's just some smart ass comments. So I'm gonna let that slide. See, I'm not quick to get people out of here because I get a kick out of trolling anyway. So that's all they say. But let me do this too, because as I was watching my little Columbo, let me see if I can get the picture. I've been noticing something. And I also noticed that as I go on in this Columbo, they start showing him with more authority and in the capacity as a lieutenant. And but they kind of keep the same old motive. They don't have him arresting the people. I mean, these people just kill people and they're not being arrested. I know they're rich, but I'm like, come on now. But I'm trying to find it. If I can't find it, I might have to email it. I might have to email it to myself again. I was going to point out on the side of Peter Falk's hair, his hair is looking pretty kinky. That's what I was going to point out. Because he's a small hat, too, by the way, in case people don't know. Let's see, not to downplay black males also being raped, etc. during slavery. I don't feel that the buck breaking film is something that should be promoted at this time. Well, he needs material. So it's got to be something. You know, the hidden colors, he's basically exhausted that out, but he's going to keep on making them. 1804, that flopped. And he can't come out with stuff like that anymore because he's supposed to be on this Aboriginal thing. But I noticed he's not using that word. I noticed. So the buck breaking is only going to be good if he puts himself in it. He's not putting Nick Cannon in it, and he's not putting Louis Farrakhan in it. So to me, it's invalid. Put the real people that's buck broken. Dick Gregory, he belongs in there. And Dick Gregory's name would be very befitting to having been buck broken. You know? So if those people aren't being in that feature, then it's just another quick money grab for some bullshit. So we'll see how this buck broken thing does. But when you respect people like Wesley Muhammad, see, that's a guy. I'm not trying to say I want to debate him, but I got a few questions for Wesley Muhammad. I remember this guy, Paul Guthrie, he was going back and forth with Wesley Muhammad. I noticed he took his videos down. I don't know why. Maybe they got to his ass or something. But my man had the videos that kind of shot the whole Nation of Islam thing down. And I feel it's healthy for us to see an entire film on black men being broke down. Although it should be discussed. Now, I always maintain, especially with all this gay shit that's coming out now, the way it is now, that had to have taken place. I'm not going to try to say that he got that idea from me, but I got to admit, I did mention it before he even started talking about that shit, that they had to have been raping the males because gay people, that's what they want to do. They want some male booty. Disgusting. But that's what they want. So, thank you. Oh, yeah, my man got the new look. See, my man's trying to be funny. What are their features? I don't know what he's talking about. I know he's trying to be funny. This is Meatball, I'm sure, but, I'm going to let you troll on. But Meatball, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Why don't you be a man? And come on, I'm not going to embarrass you. And you know me, I don't get loud. I don't even like to disrespect people. So you could talk. Can we talk? I want to talk. Okay? Come on. So right now, Mr. Seven, he's buck broken. The real people has been buck broken. Yeah. Farrakhan has been buck broken. No doubt about that. I was traumatized seeing Ving Rhames broken. Yeah. I was like, damn, hell, I was traumatized when he played that Holiday Heart. That was traumatic right there. Shit. Wasn't a bad movie, but I also think Robert Townsend may have been persuaded to make a movie like that to kind of prepare us, so to speak. And I watch a lot of old YouTube videos and stuff on history, actual history. And when you look at village people, from the name to the particular characters that's supposed to be manly, and then you listen to the songs, the subject matter, you could tell they were preparing the mind and seducing the kids. Oh yeah, Robert Townsend. Yeah, that was his movie. Holiday Heart. See, at first, when I saw it, I was thinking, that was a way for a muscle man like Ving Rhames to defy the stereotypes of muscle guys in Hollywood. They always have to play the tough enforcer. Even in the Mission Impossible, he plays the nerd, the brains, but he's still kind of plays a muscle guy every now and then. But Tom Cruise is supposed to be the baddest man on the planet in that movie. They're coming out with another one. I'm losing track of the titles. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did manage to see the last one, but if you asked me to name the titles and what the hell each one was about, I lost track. I'll be honest with you. In defense of the Village People, the lead singer said he did not write that song thinking of any homosexual, but they went along with the lead singer. He said he wasn't gay. He married Felicia Rashad. And he was a drug addict. Now you could argue that a lot of the dances, what's going on, Bunker TV? You could argue that a lot of the dances he was doing when they were making their performances, I mean, did they tell him to dance like that? Or, he didn't seem too out of place, you know what I mean? But I was thinking about their songs, man, and their songs, YMCA. I'm glad you brought that up. Some of the members were gay. Yeah, every one of them were gay except for the lead singer. So he says. I'll take his word for it. I think the Indian guy, he died of AIDS recently, if not all of them. Shit. And that motorcycle guy, that's the stereotypical outfit, the gay outfit. So YMCA, I know when we were children, we used to go to the YMCA and the YWCA. I didn't know what the hell. I just thought it was some place kids went to, but I didn't know the history of that shit. But then they had a song called San Francisco. You Got Me, Hollywood. There's some other shit, Fire Island. It was all gay themed shit. What's the other one? In the Navy. In the Navy. Listen to the lyrics. Where you can help your fellow man. Help them do what? In the Navy. Go out and protect the motherland. All that kind of shit. Matter of fact, not only them, but if you hear other suspicious characters, singers, you think about some of the songs they were singing. One song that always made me say, man, when it came out, I was like, man, I guess it sounded good. But when I heard it maybe about a year ago, I was just driving somewhere, turning radio stations. It came on the station. What's going on, Hyper Vigilante? Came on the radio station. I was saying to myself, because I was actually listening to the lyrics this time. And then I said to myself, man, what the fuck is this song about, man? And I do that with a lot of songs now. You know that song, George Michael, I will be your father figure. I have had enough time. I will be the one to love you till the end of time. Then you listen to the lyrics. I should find the lyrics to that shit. You listen. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find them. And I said, these lyrics are pretty strange. I keep forgetting he died too. Father figure lyrics. Let's see what we have here. I can't sing, but I'm going to try and give you the essence. That's all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted. Something special, something sacred in your eyes. For just one moment to be bold and naked at your side. I'm reading the actual lyrics. Sometimes I think you'll never understand me. Maybe this time is forever. Say it can be. Whoa, that's all you wanted. Something special, something sacred in your life. Just for one moment to be warm and naked at my side. Sometimes I think you'll never understand me, but something tells me together we'd be happy. Oh, oh, I will be your father figure. Oh, baby, put your tiny hand in mine. I love to. I will preach. I will be your preacher, teacher, be your daddy. Anything you have in mind, it would make me. I would be your father figure, very happy. I've had enough time. Please let me. I will be the one who loves you to the end of time. Oh, there's more. That's all I ever wanted. But sometimes love can be mistaken for a crime. That's all I ever wanted. Just to see my baby's blue eyes shine. This time I think that my lover understands me. If we have faith in each other, then we could be strong, baby. I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. Blah, blah, blah. I had enough of crime. Damn, I've had enough of crime. I'll be the one who loves you to the end of time. You tell me this ain't no pedophile gay song. That's exactly what this is. That's when I was listening to that shit while I was in the car, I said, my God, I said, and that was a big ass hit. I said, damn. Because, you actually listen to the song. I'm like, that's some wild shit. That's overt. The word is out, Jermaine Stewart. Yeah, anything he was doing, yeah. The lead singer went within the disc. I'm going to tell you another song. Since my man, the troll, says all these old folks with this ancient music, let me take you a little further up to date. Let's see how this one sounds to you. Now, this one is called Bruno Mars, Young Girls. Yeah, because I was listening to this song too. I said, man, this shit sounds pretty strange. I mean, not only did they take, what's my man, John Cougar, they took the music from that shit. Hold tight, sweet night, whatever it go. Now I'm doing everything that's right, but I ain't even done with the night. They took that shit from there, but then they turned it into this song. I spent all my money on a big old fancy car for those bright-eyed honeys. Oh yeah, you know who you are. Keep me up till the sun is high, till the birds start calling me my name. I'm addicted, and I don't know why. Guess I've always been this way. All these roads steer me wrong. Sounds like a guilt line. But I still drive them all night long. All night long. Oh, you young, wild girls, you make a mess of me. Cryptic. Yeah, you young, wild girls, you'll be the death of me. Because you shouldn't be doing that. And all you young, wild girls, no matter what you do, yeah, you young, wild girls, I always come back to you. Come back to you. And they let this be a hit because this is that dirty shit that they do in these songs. And then I guess I get lost under these lights. I get lost in the words I say. Start believing my own lies. Like everything will be okay. Oh, I still dream of a simple life. Boy meets girl. Makes her his wife. But love don't exist when you live like this. That much I know. Yes, I know. All these young roads steer me wrong, but I still drive them along at night. And then you got the chorus again. You. Those are dirty lyrics, pedophilic lyrics. And a lot of these songs are like that. I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes you just hear shit and then you're like, you know what? The song always sounded good, but I never really knew what the fuck it was about. And then when you just aren't really thinking, but you're just saying, you know what, I'm hearing this song. Let me actually listen to these lyrics. Shit is crazy. You know? Like a prayer. Yeah, that's some other shit. Madonna had a whole lot of cryptic, crazy shit. Like that Lucky Star song. That Eastern Star. Just like Rihanna with that diamonds. Shine bright like a diamond. Is that ancient Davis? Shine bright like a diamond? Guess it is now. Donna Summer left, and you see what Rihanna's doing. She's nice looking, no husband, no kids. What's up with that? Donna Summer left the disco crown and ticked off the gays by saying God made Adam and Eve. Oh, I didn't know that. She was gorgeous. Donna Summer was Beyonce in the earliest memories. See, now my man's trying to push it. See, he's trying to push it. So since you want to push it, I'm gonna push it. Meatball, that Lashy for you, that guy was Meatball, just in case you didn't know. Meatball says Snubbed Up 7 guy. You know, I was thinking about that diamond. Matter of fact, let me get those lyrics. Then Bruno Mars, he has some other shit. I think that Gorilla song too, that might be some wild shit too. But you got to watch these guys. They make them famous for a reason. Not to say that the man is not talented, but you know what they're all about. Let's see. Rihanna, diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Find light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I. We're like diamonds in the sky. You're shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew we become one right away. Oh, right away. At first sight, I felt the energy of the sun's rays. So is that the Illuminati stuff? I saw the life inside your eyes. So shine bright toward you and I. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Eye to eye. So alive. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond. And it says, feel the warmth. That's like a sun. Sun is the star. Feel the warmth. We'll never die. We're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see. A vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. At first sight, I felt the energy of the sun's rays. I saw the life inside your eyes. So shine bright tonight, you and I. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Eye to eye, so alive. Illuminati all the way. Now, you'll find a whole lot of this stuff with these weirdos. Come on. Now, here's the Madonna Lucky Star, because it's similar. And anytime you hear songs that talk about here comes the sun this, the sun that, the stars this, the sun, we're out in the sun, we're in the stars, or the sun is shining bright on me, all that kind of shit. It's all in the same vein. Lucky star, you must be my lucky star because you shine on me wherever you are. Because that's what the sun is all about. I used to hear this. I used to think this was about fucking relationship or something. Until you realize, I'm not going to lie. I heard they broke this shit down on a YouTube video, which is probably not up anymore. And then that's when I said, damn, I didn't know that shit was all about that kind of shit. I said, that shit is wild. I just think of you and I start to glow, see? And I need your light. And baby, starlight, star bright. The first star I see tonight. Make everything all right. You must be my lucky star because you make the darkness seem so far. And when I'm lost, that's that Eastern Star they're talking about. You'll be my guide. I just turn around and you're by my side. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. Come on, shine your heavenly body tonight because I know you're going to make everything all right. You may be my lucky star, the luckiest by far. Chorus again. Come on, shine your heavenly body tonight. Blah, blah, blah. Same old repetition. All these songs are sinister. Cult songs, you know what I mean? Carefully written, because you notice, and I never thought about Lucky Star. She's straight up, all her stuff was like that from the beginning, but a lot of us never knew. And with Rihanna, the key thing with her, she doesn't write her songs. It's the machine that put her together. And you know her machine came out of Jay-Z. You know, so this is what's going on with all that shit. But the star songs, worshiping the star, fine. But those pedophile songs, that father figure, see, we got tricked with the father figure. See, when you watch the video, you see one thing. And they're slick with that shit. You see George Michael with a woman. And you're thinking, you're associating, oh, father figure with the woman, which is still weird to begin with, but that's what you're thinking when you see the video. I will be your father figure, but put your tiny hand in mine. So that's what got me. But say they get slick because they make you think, oh, women have smaller hands than men. But when you actually look at the goddamn lyrics, I read them. You can look them up yourself. You see what the hell they're talking about. Some wild shit, man. Really wild. And I mean, there are a whole bunch of songs you can go in on with that kind of shit. But Bruno Mars and Rihanna, those are some of the latest weirdos out here. Matter of fact, even the Beatles, like I said, anything that people keep talking about, son. Now, the Beatles, they wrote their songs, but they can just tell them, people who know how to write songs, they can just tell them, hey, write this song about this shit, because you know what you got to do. Now, Here Comes the Sun, that's actually a good song, but when you think about it, there aren't too many lyrics to the damn song. So I just pulled this shit up right now. There's not too many lyrics. Most of the song is Here Comes the Sun. It's all right. That's basically what's going on throughout the whole song. Big ass hit, writing really small lyrics. I don't know if they had to rush it or not, but they got it. Or maybe he didn't want to put too much on it. But it says, Here comes the sun. It's all right, little darling. These are the lyrics. Real simple. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. It seems like years since it's been here, but here comes the sun. Then, little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. It feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. It's all right. Then the last verse, I feel like the ice is slowly melting. It seems like years since it's been clear. See, now if they told him to write, George Harrison, to write that song for their cult, because everybody knows that they were into that kind of shit. That's why they got so famous. And they had good songs too, but that's how they got so famous. You can see he didn't really put much effort into the detail. And he probably did that on purpose because he was religious. That's why he had that My Dear Lord song. But I'll tell you this, Paul McCartney, since we into that territory, I was looking at some of his catalog. Now, Paul McCartney has some songs with some suspicious titles. Same thing with Led Zeppelin. I think they had a song called New World Order, or they mentioned it in the song. Now, Paul McCartney, one of his latest albums, I think it's called Egypt Station, I think. Yeah, Egypt Station. Now, you got to ask yourself, why is that? He has a ram on the cover, too. I know he's always had that ram symbolism, Egyptian pyramids. Why would he have that on his cover? But you got to read up on Paul McCartney. They say it became his first #1 album. Went to #1. Yeah, I guess that's not hard to do these days. since 1982. So that old man is still doing this thing. How old is Paul McCartney? Got to be like 75, right? 78. God damn. But see, before I let this go to a close, let me just say this. You had Paul McCartney, the Beatles. They were into that craziness. Now we know that John Lennon, the leader of the Beatles. Okay, so you went too far with the trolling, my man. Now you're out of here for good. Make up another one. Bruno Mars. Now, I admit Bruno Mars is talented, but see, that's the thing. When they push these guys, they push them to come with this craziness. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Hotel California. Now, that was another song. Let me write this down so I don't forget about John Lennon. Hotel California. That was another thing, too, because I bought this computer motherboard, right? Had a nice sound card on it. So I wanted to tune, that's what I call it, tuning up the sound card to get the sound right, make sure it was the way everything's supposed to be. So I listened to a 24-bit version of the Hotel California, uncompressed. And I kept playing it over and over and over again. Why did I play that song? I know how it's supposed to sound, the guitar, and it has the right amount of bass and the highs and the clarity of the voice that lets you know when you got everything tuned right. So that's why I chose that song. So I had it on a loop so I can keep on tuning it to make sure I got the volume check and everything right. So as I was doing that, obviously I kept listening to the lyrics. You could say I was getting brainwashed or hypnotized by it, mesmerized, and I kept hearing about the song On a Dark Desert Highway and all that kind of stuff, the 1969. Now, some people say it's about devil worship, which I'm sure it has to do with that too, because that Anton LaVey is on the back of the cover. But at the same time, I said, you know what? This sounds more like the Manson murders and the Manson situation. So that's what it sounded like when you listen to the lyrics. And then you think about the success that they had. And we know that Charles Manson was down with the CIA, in case people don't know. And that's what the hell they were doing, some crazy shit up there. So I said, let me look up and see what this song is about. Some say it's the devil worshiping, but others say, agree with me, it's the Manson situation, which again, it goes with that shit. But anyway, they set up in the where all that shit was going down. Charles Manson, of course, wrote songs for Beach Boy. They stole his songs, which is real. He was down with the celebrities. There was a house out there by where the Manson murders took place. If anybody was anybody or was looking to be anybody in the music biz, you had to be at these parties. Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Eagles, whoever the hell was anybody. And Charles Manson happened to be at these parties too. So they were saying that's the kind of shit that they're talking about. And other people made songs in reference to that shit too. So, it's some wild shit. But the people who are in control, they can make people say what they want you to say. You want that money, you want that fame, that's what you got to do. And before I get into that, let me segue into the John Lennon, which is what I was about to say. See, Paul McCartney, he didn't go out of order. he's still playing it straight. That's why he can keep getting all these hits at nearly 80 years old. John Lennon, on the other hand, people say that hit or that assassination, it sounds like a hit. But when it comes to that MK Ultra mind control shit, I mean, there's a lot of, I'll say, evidence that makes me go in that direction, I'll say. The Jonestown thing helps to back that stuff up as far as the drugging people and making them do things. And the Sirhan, and then the Oswald thing where they said the guy that went to Jim Garrison, the old man, he said that David Ferrie had hypnotized Oswald. Now, I know where I look at murder cases or even crimes when people need to recall a license plate after they witnessed something. The police will often hypnotize them to help them recall it. Sometimes it involves drugs, other times it doesn't. I know with Jonestown, it involves drugs, the mind control thing. And like I said before in other videos, some of my oldest videos, especially the ones on the other channel, which I'll put up, I noticed that all of them aren't up, but I'm going to put them up and I'll put the dates that they were originally made so that they'll be in sequence somehow, somewhere, or at least for reference. But like I said, I'm going to repeat what I said in there. When you're at a bar or a club, when you first get there, because I'm sure many of us are going to clubs, you know, we got there before it really started having a whole lot of people. I know some people don't. They like to get there when it's already jumping. But sometimes we get there early, mainly for a parking situation. You see there aren't much people on the dance floor. Why? Because people, number one, they're waiting for other people to start dancing. But for those who can't wait, what are they doing? They get their drinks. Once the drinks start taking them over, they get bold. Then they get on the dance floor, start doing some wild shit. And then other people follow along. That was under my brainwashing videos because that's what it's all about. Monkey see, monkey do. And when you have drugs in your system, whether it's weed you smoked before you got into the club or went to the bathroom to smoke it. I see New Jersey, the governor has definitely signed the bill to legalize weed. I wonder how that's going to work out if people in New Jersey had their weed stashes and then go to other states and have the weed on them and then they get caught out. Wonder how that's going to work out. But people follow along, and that's how the clubs get jumping and people keep dancing because now they're high as hell. And I'm sure we've all been to clubs. We see people that just don't stop dancing, doing all types of crazy shit, and they look like they're in a trance. That's because they are. And the reason why they're in a trance is because the music is designed to put you in a trance. Whether it's that house music, club music, techno, disco, all that shit is designed to put you in a trance-like state, a hypnotic state. When combined with the drugs, you stay in that state. That's why people, when they arrested Sirhan, they kept saying, the man had that 1,000-mile stare. To this day, Sirhan claims that he has no idea what the fuck happened. Sounds like a typical criminal excuse. I don't know what the fuck happened. I blacked out. But other people kind of corroborate what he was saying. You know, it seemed like he says he knows he was there. He knows he had the gun in his hand. But he doesn't know anything beyond that. You know? So, Jonestown, they drugged the people. Church, they sing, they dance. What's a hypnotic, mesmerizing tool or instrument that they use in the church? That tambourine. If there was any, and the other one might be the organ, but if there's any one instrument you could point to that manipulates the mind, it's that tambourine. They change the pace up depending on what they want to say, how they want you to react, get up and dance. You shouldn't really have to be getting up and dancing in church. But anyway, let me get to it and say that the mind control, there's some merit to it. But when it comes to the John Lennon assassination, let's just say if that is what it was, and it does sound like it, I'm not going to lie. Then I have to say that they perfected it right there. Put it like that. John Lennon, of course, was a guy who, once he met Yoko Ono, started getting into politics and that kind of shit. And she had him change his music. And here we go with that Japanese connection again. Japanese with the Nation of Islam, Japanese with John Lennon. If you are familiar with the Beatles before he met Yoko Ono, he's making songs that were pop oriented, love songs, and She Loves Me, I Want to Hold Your Hand, shit that will attract the masses. Then once he got with her, he started making political songs. Come Together. What's the other shit? What's the other one? Oh. Revolution. I mean, that's a pretty big protest song, And Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, yeah, LSD. And we all know now that that was one big social experiment on the people. And it coincided with the change of the societies. Just like we're experiencing right now. But what made John Lennon dangerous is because he had the money. He had the influence to back up whatever the fuck he was saying. And they said, I read up, they said he was secretly funding some groups, including the Black Panthers. So they don't want that. They didn't want people who had strong influence, because John Lennon was like Michael Jackson or somebody. If he came out with a song, people would gravitate towards it and examine the lyrics, and they themselves will become hypnotized with the lyrics. That's why these days they change shit around. That gangster rap, those are some of the most destructive lyrics around. Because it's all about kill niggas, sell drugs, fuck hoes, fuck your hoe, slap your mama, do drugs on the biggest drug dealer in the world, pull up on the block. That's what it's all about. And when you have guys on the street doing that kind of thing, it validates their actions. It makes them feel like, oh, okay, this is what I should be doing. That's why if you replace shoot niggas with shoot small hats, that shit is not being released. That shit will be banned. You're going to be anti-Semite. What's wrong with you? But since it's targeted audience, they don't mind that. So music, right now, music is at an all-time state. It's as bad as it's ever been. And the way it looks right now, I'm sure they're still thinking of how they can revive this music biz, but it looks like it's dead and never to come back. Because there's once a point in time where you can judge people, their success on what they sold. Nobody's selling. What can you judge them on? So John Lennon had to be silenced because you think about it. From the late 60s, had to stop making music at 75. I think he was told to stop, but he says he stopped to take care of his son, 5 years for his son. But then he comes back out in 1980, and he just so happens to get eliminated then. I am guessing, speculating, that he told the people that control him, all right, let me stop making music. And then he got that feeling again. Then he started making more music. And they said, oh man, this guy's doing this shit. And they thought it was going to be political. But it wasn't political. It was more introspective and lovey, about loving and shit, loving his wife. But I think they felt threatened, like, okay, he might be starting off with that. But once he gets this hit, he might go back to his old ways with that political protest shit. Because what's that one? What's that cut he had? A Hero, John Lennon. Hero. What's the name of that song? Working Class Hero. Now you listen to the lyrics on that one. It's bucking the system. It's telling you what the system is all about and how you're being used as slavery for their words, and then how they trick you and everything. They don't want them coming out with that. Too much influence. So they said, fuck this, man. We got to take this man out just in case. They don't give a fuck about him because they made him. You know, that's what people got to understand. They don't care. Let's see. Oh yeah, David Bowie. That was another one with some wild shit. All that androgyny. Back in what do they call it? Glam rock. Try to give it a cool name. Yeah, get down with this glam rock. David Bowie did that shit. Hall and Oates did that shit. It's crazy. Laurel Canyon murders, yep. Manson murders. They said some Fleetwood Mac, but there's some witches. Yeah, I mean, the album covers are pretty suspicious, man. A lot of times those album covers give you, tell you the story that you need to hear. You know, you got me wanting to upload the Donald Fagen Steely Dan song, "What a Beautiful World." I think the song's about yeah, a lot of that. Just like Lionel Richie, he has a lot of songs talking about that kind of shit. He's big on that. Save the world and all that kind of shit. We are the world. That's why my man remains relevant. They keep him in effect, you know? All of his songs he made. John Lennon murder was obvious. MK Ultra. Oh yeah, military. I think so, man. Jonestown. There's so much that we don't realize. Yeah, Jonestown was a scary event. A dangerous one. Now, I'm not a liberal. I know when it comes to science and testing things out, you got to test things out. Whether you're right or wrong about the what it's going to do, but you got to test things out. Jonestown, it's clear cut. That was a mass brainwashing exercise, and they had to eliminate the people to see what that's all about. Well, Dick Gregory claims that Lennon told him that. Well, Dick Gregory claims a whole lot of people told him a whole lot of stuff, but Dick Gregory was down with John Lennon. Like I said, there was this documentary I was watching a few years ago, and it showed Dick Gregory at that protest that Lennon and Yoko Ono had. Agent Dick was on the scene again. So they may have been, but they weren't the only rock group of the era talking about drugs. That's the thing. You see the correlation. the rappers talking about drugs. Now all of a sudden weed is getting legalized in more and more states. Or back in the 60s, see, people think it's the black guys who talked about the drugs. Back in the 60s, it's the rock groups, white boys talking about smoking weed, getting high, taking trips. What's that shit? What's that song? Sunshine Superman. I used to trip off easy, but I changed my ways. It's another song with the sun, too. You think about the 60s, that flower generation, you see it was all centered around that sun, if you think about that. So, a lot of things you don't know until you put all the pieces together. Beatles started out making so-called innocent teenage songs, but they were concocted to mislead the kids. Lennon was hooking up with black activists, and they would have. Matter of fact, I think you said, Nasheed, I think you said you had a John Lennon video, and that shit got pulled down, right? Because I want to actually check that out. Gangsta rap concocted. NWA blew up underground in '88, went early on that year, KRS-One. Yep, that's true. And then we can never forget how Eazy-E, he put up the shit to start the shit. He ends up with an acute case of AIDS. And you see Suge Knight. This is how they do. I didn't even pay that close attention to the message of these covers. I thought it was just artsy. Yeah, there are a lot of album covers, like that Sgt. Pepper Beatles album cover. Matter of fact, I'm gonna close this out in a minute, but let me get in on that real quick. I'm just calling it this right now. This is probably not what I want. Let's go with this. Because I want more popular artists instead of these wild. This will work. Rolling Stones. This Satanic Majesty's Request. And that's the name of the album. You see all that magical shit? I hate when they have these shits. See, the Rolling Stones, they came from the Beatles camp too. Symphony for the Devil, even though the lyrics to that was more positive, but at the same time, it was explaining who was doing what. See, all this crazy stuff. Uh-oh. License to Ill. This is satanic? Okay, let's see what's up with this. Jet plane with the serial number 3MTA3 on his tail. If you look at the album cover in a mirror, the reverse image now reads, "Eat me." But how's that satanic? Oh, they said hidden messages, not satanic on this one. Super Tramp. Uh-oh. Nielsen. Let me do the Sgt. Pepper album cover then, because this one is different. I also read something on the Beatles being promoted after the JFK assassination to try to distract from that. That's why they brought them out, because they did kind of rise to fame pretty fast. Okay, well, they're not, can't really find what I'm looking for. Anyway, it has this Aleister Crowley right here and a whole bunch of other weirdos. And they had to do that because it's a part of their whole situation. Since I can't find what I want quickly, I'm not going to go deep into that. You can look all that up. And then when you think about Earth, Wind, and Fires, what's going on, Lorraine? When you think about Earth, Wind, and Fire, matter of fact, hell with that. Let me show that. You think about them, they made it big with the white crowd. I used to always wonder why. But you see this shit right here. I used to always wonder why they were Egyptian themed, but called Earth, Wind, and Fire. Never understood it. And as you can see, the lights in the pyramid shape too. I'm sure a lot of people probably had this. Used to always wonder about the wild. Matter of fact, when you think about it, a lot of 70s groups had some wild art that you scratch in your head trying to figure out what the fuck it is and what the fuck the meaning is. But I guess those in the know, they know the meanings. Well, you see that. Whenever you see the pyramids, it's always in 3. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. So this is why I say that what I think is going on, even though we call them small hats, I'm starting to think they're not who they say they are or claim to be. Who they really are might surprise us. Always that. Of course, their costumes. I mean, you think of any 70s group, it's got these album covers with some wild shit on it. Matter of fact, let me look at that. Okay, she was saying Fleetwood Mac. Of course, Michael Jackson got one of those type of wild covers. More Earth, Wind, and Fire. Got this police shit with that. That's why they were big. I read up on them too. And why they were called the police. There's this Journey. Got rid of him. More Rolling Stones, wild shit. See, when I used to see all this type of shit, I used to think that was just some wacky, zany shit from the 60s. I didn't realize that there was actual meaning behind a lot of this shit. Of course, the one-eye thing, of course, with this guy too. Make no mistake about it. Especially with that second album cover that you know that. So this shit is some wild shit. Pink Floyd, see, very big album with that. I think I heard on that shit. I don't know who this is. Psychedelic Thoughts. Oh, B.O.B. That's another one of those guys. You already know what that's all about. See, some people, like the younger kids now, they might be thinking, you know, these covers are just nice art. That's what I used to think when I used to see a lot of these covers. Oh, just nice artwork. I thought it was weird artwork on a lot of them. But now a lot of us know the meaning. But I don't want to get off track on that. People could check all that out on their own. I'm sure a lot of you already have. Eazy was ejected. Death Row and Jerry Heller worked together. Yep. That's how they do. Get sneaky. Black Man was the sacrifice of the Rolling Stones. Yeah, you know what? That's funny. See, you and I, man, we checking out a lot of the same things. They had the documentary on that on YouTube. I forgot what it was called. But I thought that was an interesting one. The black guy, I forgot his name, but he wore a very colorful suit. That lime green suit with the big ass hat and bell bottoms. And what was shocking to me is that he had that white woman. What is that site? Oh, damn, which one were you talking about? Yeah. You repeat that. What site were you talking about? That was if whatever I was looking at, I think it was a search, Google search though. But there was a site you'll find on some of these sites. They show you all the album covers, all the Illuminati stuff, and the Beatles one. I forgot it, but if you look and put in Beatles, was the Beatles hysteria real? Beatlemania, was that real? Something like that. They show you how at the airport when they first arrived in America, that the cameras and the editing made it seem as if it was the airport was just full of fans. But then when you look at it again, you see that they would just line up to the edges of gates and stuff. But it wasn't really packed in. It was all hype. But it worked. With anybody, any artist, you think about it, whether it's a Snoop Dogg, Meek Mill, whoever the hell they hype up, they give them enough press. People say, oh, I got to see what they're all about. And Alistair Crowley on the cover, their role models, Sergeant Pepper. Earth, Wind, and Fire, that's a tough one. Yeah, the music is good. And if you listen to a lot of their music and their lyrics, like that fantasy song, start getting you to thinking. Like every now and then I'll go back and listen to some Lionel Richie. And then you start listening to some of his lyrics, actual lyrics, because he was a great songwriter. So he was able to slip a lot of shit in under the guise of a good song. And then when you actually listen to the lyrics, you start saying to yourself, God damn, who are they? If you're talking about they, you know, it's the small hats. Oh, you mean, I think you're probably referring to the question, who might they be if they're not small hats? I might do a future episode on that. I don't want to sound wild, but I just keep noticing too many trends, too many things that, you know, they're supposed to be small hats, but everything that they're wrapped around has to do with ancient Egypt. And then Peter Falk on Columbo, I noticed the size of his hair is kind of kinky versus the top. That's another topic, though. Keep Your Head in the Sky, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Stevie Nicks. Yeah, she might be the way she was dressing. Yeah, Journey. Remember, they got established before my man came along, Perry. I used to see it all as art because I'm an artist. Yeah, see, damn, man, we're almost like the same people. I used to be an artist. That's why I was always fascinated with album covers. You know, the kind that's artistic. You know, I hate those plain album covers where it's just a picture of somebody's face. That's nothing. On the site with the Beastie Boys album breaking down. Let me see. Go back into the history. See if I can find that. Come on. Let's see. Oh, that was called mentalfloss.com. Matter of fact, I forgot I got the thing. I don't usually put in links, so I could put that in here. I keep forgetting. And they said, yeah, they paid some high school girls to scream over. Yep. To create that hysteria because they just took out JFK. So once they take people out, they want you to forget about them. So that's why they came out with the phenomenon known as the Beatles and put them all over the place. From what I was reading, you know, they had, I think, on the top of the charts, I think they had the top 5 singles, 1 through 5, all the Beatles. they kept coming back to the Ed Sullivan Show. They kept going everywhere, putting them everywhere. And of course, this also coincides with my other, I'll call it a theory, British US merger situation. Because that rock music, like I said, music is hypnotic. It can brainwash. And when you start thinking about a lot of music coming from the UK, and I admit that they outdo the white rock bands in the US. They're better. I'm sorry, they're better. But a lot of them got knighted or got special awards from Queen Elizabeth because they made great music or because of their influence. You know? Yeah, Lionel Richie, matter of fact, since you say no way, I gotta go here. Then you'll see why he and you'll see why he got the what do you call that shit? American Idol. All right, here we go. I'm sure a lot of people are already familiar with this. You know, that's why he left the Commodores. Do It To Me, I think that came out around the 90s or something like that, early 90s. And you see what he's doing. This is his son. Then my man looked like Blake Griffin. He looks just like Blake Griffin. That's crazy. But he had a lot of these songs and these poses. So he's already dialed in, so he knows what he's doing. Sometimes I know the Commodores, they were pissed that he left, but sometimes it's for their own good. Okay, that's all I can find. He has some other shit though. Yeah, that's another one. But you know, the web, they're really trying to scrub a lot of it. What the fuck? Uh-oh. Ah, shit. Here we go. Damn. I guess that's the nail in the coffin. Manuel Lewis. They got them all. They got them all. We already know about him. So that's why I keep asking the question. Why do we have to keep suffering? Huh? They got them all. You see the Nation of Islam style hats? Damn, they got him too. God damn. That's probably why he was so tormented and down. Kenneth Spencer. And this is further evidence that you can't just go out and try to be somebody. You got to be connected. Why do you think Richard Pryor is always told to be seen as the best comedian that ever lived? I don't think he was, but all right, now I'm disappointed now. I'm disappointed God damn. Interesting. And this Motown female group said that the British invasion became dominant over Motown sound. People were primarily listening to Motown before that. Messed up a lot of Motown groups. Yep. They mostly came from the projects. You got me looking up Running with the Night. Hey. A lot of his songs are very strange. I think Richard's wife, Jennifer Lee, and Rashawn Khan were handlers. Yep. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But I like the truth over the fiction. But like they said, there's a reason why they came up with that saying that the truth is stranger than the fiction. You know? So now, a lot of that stuff I just looked up now. I just didn't know about the Richard Pryor. I think I remember somebody saying something about that years ago. But you see, they got them all. They got them all. That's why they get celebrated. I think if Michael Jackson had not existed in the 80s, Lionel Richie probably would have been the biggest act in the 80s. But he couldn't be Michael Jackson, but he still got what he got, and he got bigger than the Commodores. You know? It is what it is. I'm about to let it roll. Damn, it's 10:47. Yeah, I'm about to let it roll. And I'll probably come back on Friday with the Hotep Hustlers. If not Friday, Saturday. So thank you, Nasheed, for you. Everybody else, go check out Nasheed for you. She has some strong stuff. And you got to check these things out. The truth is crazy, but now you know why the rapper down the street, he says, I'm going to be a big star. Now you know why it's not happening. But the whack-ass rapper like a Meek Mill or somebody like that, now you know why their name keeps getting mentioned all the time for no reason at all. Now with the Kobe Bryant situation. That's another video. The main topic with coon agents. Then again, I think all that tied in together with coon agents and co-opters. Now you know why they do what they do, because they get well rewarded. Now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. With that, I'm out of here. Thank you.